Hey, everybody, and welcome to the Seal Podcast, episode number 114. A monumental episode because it seems that I have managed to introduce it without being interrupted. My name is Fraser. I'm joined on my left by Dave.
Hello.
On my right by Neil.
Hello.
And then in some sort of weird purple world on my screen is Pilch.
Bonsoir.
Oh God, I thought his mic had gone then.
Good to see you all, boys. Nice to have a full house. Pilch, you were missed last week. I owe you a massive apology because I don't know if you listened to the episode. I don't think I mentioned you once that you weren't actually there.
No, you didn't.
No, oh, so you did notice.
Oh, he did.
Yeah.
Thought he remembered at some point, like about 2 hours in.
Did I? I haven't.
Maybe.
Maybe I haven't got to that when I'm re-listening.
I didn't
to it
get.
anyway.
I didn't get that far. No.
I never get that far when I listen to the episodes. Yeah, so it's good to be back for another Friday. I think we have a fair amount to go through today, so let us not waste any time, and we'll just get moving on the intro and shout outs. First off, I saw on Twitch today, Hardly Dan was doing a stream of his Zwift biking, and I thought that I would go in and have a look. So I'll give a shout out to Dan on that. He was climbing a very, very threatening looking hill. This thing, I mean, he looked knackered. But I was there for quite a bit of it and giving him a bit of encouragement, which I hope he enjoyed. And yeah, he got up to the top there. He's talking about doing the London to Brighton. He's going to absolutely crush it. If he could do what I saw him do on that stream today, I've done the London to Brighton before.
If I could, must be quite easy then.
It's easy. It's really easy. I did it with after a massive bender the night before, and no training.
What was his name?
So, Carlsberg. Yeah, good luck to Dan for that. It was nice to see that. If you get a chance, go and check out Dan's Twitch channel. Go give him some support. He's doing some fundraising. Excuse me, for the British Heart Foundation, I believe.
That's what I thought.
So yeah, worthwhile cause, and looks as though it's doing him good too. He was looking very nice and trim, our Dan. So that's good. Good for him.
Oh.
Fantasy League.
Wow.
Well. There's good news and there's bad news, people.
Is there?
The good news is I retained my top spot.
We have a look at it.
Just barely. Are you gonna, Neil? You can do a little bit of commentary here on it if you like.
Well, you can see the league if you're watching the stream.
The bad news is I completely forgot to adjust my team for this week.
Well, even though I put a reminder on.
You know what, Neil? You're not going to believe this, but I was busy.
You actually worked today.
And I was busy, and I actually did some work, and I forgot. And I don't even have both my captain and vice captain aren't playing this week, so I'm missing out on that double points. But there you go.
Good news for Christian and Vince.
The door's open, Neil.
Not for me, it's not. I'm too far behind. There's definitely, I would say, a top 3, maybe 4, like top of the league.
Hang on 2 seconds. I'll be back. Literally just started a podcast and my son's knocking on the door. Would you believe it?
Great. So, yeah, looks like there's sort of a top 3 or 4. Tim Kelly had an absolute stonker last week, so he got right up next to the top 3. And then there's like a mid-table battle going on, and then there's the people who obviously given up and can't be fucking bothered anymore at the bottom. But I had an okay week. But yeah, Tim Kelly top scored. I did take a picture because I knew there was games going on, so updated with 137. Second was Christian on the week, 126. And then you, Fraser, got 118. My son was 117. There was a few more in the hundreds. And then, like I say, there was people who look like they're not really trying anymore. That didn't do very well. But yeah, it was a big scoring week if you had Mo Salah. If you didn't have Mo Salah, I know there was a few people triple captain Salah last week, and they definitely it was a good move. It would appear.
Well, triple captaining Salah got you 86 points, which is just insane, right? I mean, that's more than most people do in a week. A lot more.
Yeah.
So, yeah, very impressive stuff.
So yeah, games have started this weekend already. Friday night game. Southampton won 2-0 this evening. My player didn't score any points other than 2 points, I think. So
Bonza.
Yeah, good job I didn't put that other player in who did actually quite well.
Good old
So-
the swings and roundabouts of the
Indeed.
fantasy league.
Indeed.
Yeah. Okay, well that's it's good anyway that that's still going on. With regards to Twitch streaming, I think I actually got a few hours in. I got quite a few hours in actually at the weekend. I did. I think I did quite a bit of Death's Door, and then we did some Back for Blood,
Yes.
which was good.
Is that the weekend that John joined?
John was in there for a bit on the
Yeah.
old Back for Blood, yeah, and then he had to go deal with the zombie horde in real life, which was his daughter puking everywhere, I
Oh.
believe.
Yeah. It seems like he's
Um,
been doing a bit of work on there, so
Yeah, we'll come back to Back for Blood because obviously that's going to be on our what we've been playing and will continue to be for quite a while. So anybody else do any Twitch streaming? Any plans to do any Twitch stream? Any empty promises to do any Twitch streaming?
I don't know. I've got
don't-
a new game that I might
Go
want
on,
to
Pilch.
but-
Give us an empty promise, Pilch. Come on.
Hang on, I did some last week, didn't I? I definitely streamed something. I didn't have my camera on, but I was streaming something for
Oh,
about
okay.
4 hours.
Oh, that's good. Yeah.
Have a
Can't
look,
even
have a
remember
look,
can't even
Sage, have a
remember
look.
what it was.
Oh, hang on, it might have been the week before, mightn't it? Because I weren't here last week. Have a look back and see what it was. Inform the listeners. Can't remember what it was.
Yeah,
then.
I'm not gonna
Might have
go
been
back
back
in
for.
the-
Oh, right.
Has there been an
Got to
update?
do it
Have
with
you,
bloody self.
the Xbox
Yeah,
has had an
please.
update, hasn't it? So it's all integrated again now, Twitch. So it's easier to stream from the Xbox, I believe.
Yes. Well, the only difference is you don't actually have to open the app.
Yeah.
You can just go on the share.
Oh my god,
bit.
did we bring Craig in?
Oh no, we didn't. I mean,
Oh,
you
shall we
mean
fuck it,
you
start
didn't?
again? Jesus Christ.
Oh my
Start
god.
again. Hello,
Dave-
welcome to episode 115.
Dave, you've been
of, uh,
recording?
I'm recording.
Yeah, obviously it's on
All right,
Twitch.
Dave.
so-
All right, we'll capture it from Dave then. Shit.
Jesus
Right, so
Christ.
Or
where
cut
were we?
Craig in. you know.
Okay. Yeah, that's why I needed a token earlier, because now on the menus you can just click on stream, and it just does it. You still have to go in and change all the settings for titles and shit though in the app. So you still got to open an app at some point and set it up.
Right.
But it is easier. I can just literally just click on as I'm playing now, and it will start. So it just means one thing less to open.
You just do it
But
from
it's
the
always
guide
sort
though,
of
you
in
know?
there.
Something. Press the big X and say
Yeah.
stream or something.
Yeah. Yeah. So it's one button. Once you've set it up, you haven't then got to go back into the app and then start it again. So it is easier. So I've got
It's like it was before they
fucking
had
excuse
Mixer.
now, have I?
think this
Mixer
is-
was fucking brilliant. I don't know why they got rid of that. That was so
Because
good.
no
was
one watched it.
ridiculous. Just no one used it. Exactly. Yeah. But okay.
Yeah, who
There
was
was
the big
something else on
streamers?
there as
Wasn't there
well,
some
but-
big streamers who went over? Who went over to Mixer? Did what's his face go over there? Ninja. He
Oh
went over to
yeah,
Mixer.
there's some big.
Was that Mixer?
Big Twitch streamers going over.
Was it
yeah.
Mixer?
There were a
or something
couple who
else?
got the $1 million contracts or whatever
Mm.
that went over to Mixer or whatever. But I mean, it was a hiding to nothing, wasn't it?
Well, they did all right, I think.
Yeah.
People who
They
got
did
paid
all right.
Yeah,
millions.
took the money and then went back to YouTube.
And Twitch, mostly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so that's Twitch. And anything going on the Discord?
I think it's been a bit quiet. There's a bit of Elden Ring chat going on.
Yeah, it sort of picks up when there's something for us to talk about. The small community that we are. So
Can't think
guess
of
we're
anything
gonna
else major.
no, I guess we're going to cover that then when we get to it. So okay, so let's get on then to tweets and email. Have we got much this week? I'm looking on my
Just-
show notes
just
here
the
that I've
Discord.
printed out. Is that it? Is it only one
Just
from
the one
Itza?
Discord, yeah.
Supporter of, I know Itza was in there supporting me on my Twitch stream the other day, which was nice. The usual suspects always drop in. He says There is that classic image of the master of the house going downstairs and his faithful friend brings him his newspaper and slippers. If you tasked your pooch with this role, how well might it perform, and would you stream the test?
I
Well,
don't
there's
have a
3
pooch.
Who could you train in your house, Neil, to do this? Could you train your wife to bring you your pipe and
I don't
slippers?
know about that. I think no, I don't fancy my chances there. To be fair,
No, I don't. Knowing
I'm
your
not
wife,
sure
I don't fancy your
what you're saying
chances
about my
either.
wife either. Though, to be honest, I'm actually offended. I think. on her
Who's
behalf.
offended?
I am on her
No, no,
behalf.
no, 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 no. Your wife is a strong, independent woman. I know she would not.
Yeah, I'm not sure she'd be happy about
She would
being
not put
referred
up with
to in the
that
same
nonsense.
sentence as a pooch.
Your wife is not a pooch. You are batting well above your average, mate.
Yes, well, that's not
You're a
that
mutt,
difficult.
of that there is no doubt.
He might not have the looks, but he's got a huge penis, and that always
That's
helps.
definitely not true.
Right. Well, I can tell you for a fact, I don't know if I could train my dog to do this. He's such a stubborn mofo. It's unbelievable. Like, he's a great dog. And I think loyal to, absolutely loyal family pet. But he's got this sort of street stubbornness. Like, he never begs. He won't lower himself to it. I don't know what it is. I just don't think he would do it.
What, even asking him to sit for a treat? It's like, nope, and wanders off.
He will. He's still a dog. He's ruled by his stomach a little bit more
Oh.
now that he's getting a little bit older. But I mean, he was never ruled by his stomach when he was younger. And yeah, he's just stubborn. Like, you can't really force him. Like, he'll do stuff, but like, my kids can't force him to do anything. He's just 120 pounds of nope. I'm not doing that.
Stop gnawing me. Nope.
And at nighttime I'll ask him to come upstairs, and he just completely ignores me. I'm like, he's like, I'll come up when I'm ready. I could force him. My kids are like, can't you force? Like, they always want him on the bed.
Right.
They're like, can't you force him to come up on the bed? I'm like, the only way I can force him to get up on the bed is if I get annoyed or angry at him, or like, put my foot down. It's not really fair, is it?
No.
Right? Just to. And then he's just going to jump off anyway, right? So he's going to nope straight out of there. So, yeah, can't see it happening. I mean, he likes my slippers, but only to play with them. And does anyone still take a morning newspaper?
Never have done.
No.
We don't even get free ones for it anymore on a Thursday like we used to.
Pilch, what about your dogs?
Well, in 4 years, all I've managed to do is teach them to sit and give a paw when they want a treat. So I don't think so. Well, one of them.
Did you not train them to eat remote controls?
Yeah, that was what I was going to say. One of them would just. Well, actually, one of them, as soon as you take shoes or slippers off, they collect them up. One of them collects them up and puts them in piles and sits there looking. But she won't bring you. If you said, "Bring me these slippers," she would never bring you the slippers. She's quite happy to pick the slipper up and wander off with it, put it in her bed. But, no, you can't teach French bulldogs to do anything, I'm afraid. If you told them to get a newspaper, they would just literally rip it to pieces. Anything, bit of cardboard,
slobber
box,
all over
anything
it.
like that. Just
Now, that
point it
kind
in
of
their
dog-
direction, and they just absolutely rip it to pieces. You got no chance.
They're French bulldogs, did you say?
Mm-hmm.
So what would their history be like? What would they been traditionally used for? Do they have any, like, were they working dogs or anything like that? Do you know?
Apparently they come from English bulldogs, and they were taken over to France, and they bred them smaller so they could be ratters on the ships.
Oh, okay.
So yeah, so that's what they're normally. They just get things and just shake them to pieces, basically.
Yeah, right.
That's
Just you break the neck of the rat straight away.
Especially
Right?
TV remote
Shoot it to
controls.
death.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, it's interesting you say that,
they
because
love.
I'll play with my dog in the evenings. He'll bring his rubber bone over to me, right? And I'll hold it for him, and he'll, put all his weight to try and take it off me, and then he does this shake, And like, God, he nearly rips my arm off when he does it. You wouldn't want to be on the end of that. That's the killing move.
Yeah.
But it's amazing, right? As soon as if he catches me with his teeth and I sort of reel back in, straight away his ears go back and he's worried that he's, they are good dogs, right? They're great pets. Dave, what about your beast?
My miniature poodle Bichon cross. I could probably it would be an intensive 3 or 4 weeks of training specifically to pick things up and bring them to.
Could it lift a
But
newspaper?
just about drag it
Not on a
along.
Sunday.
No. Yeah, she's a little bit small. She doesn't actually attack stuff, and she doesn't care about shoes or anything. But she loves the treats. So you could probably get her to train her to do anything really, as long as you've got enough treats on you. Yeah.
How much do you
But
weigh now?
nothing. About 3 kilos, 4 kilos.
Is that about 5,
Jesus
6 pounds?
Christ.
It's just tiny.
That's
Yeah.
very tiny, yeah. Yeah, good.
Yep.
Mine
So-
weigh 14 kilos,
Yeah.
but they're only the size of a handbag.
Yeah.
Stocky,
You
right?
can't believe that's
Stocky
the
and,
size of a Westie, but people pick it up or try and pick them up, and they don't believe how heavy they are. They're just
dense.
huge, really. Yeah.
Who's Jeff?
Good. Okay. Would anybody stream the test? You wouldn't want to see that. I mean, it would be good for a laugh, I guess. Well, actually, Pilch wouldn't stream it because he doesn't do any streaming. But
He stream. I haven't done hardly any streaming. I'm the one who's not been doing any. So
No,
yeah,
I
I'm
need to get back
surprised you
on it
haven't.
as well.
Yeah, everybody does. Everybody does. Okay.
It's-
Well, thanks.
Yeah, it's fun in the game. It's fun in the game that I'm okay playing. Well, we're all okay playing and talking at the same time and entertaining. It's hard.
Yeah, I think it's interesting. Actually, I did quite a few hours at the weekend, and you know what? I think you can. I think if I enjoyed doing the Death's Door stream, like dedicated. Here I am doing a run of a game. It's just me, and if anybody wants to come in, they can. I think me and Itza were having a nice conversation back and forth about a few things or whatever, and some of the guys come in and chat. If I'm doing PUBG and Valorant and all that, it doesn't really work. And then if you put too much of that in, people are like, oh, there's always a stream going on. So it's, there's a little bit of quality over quantity, right? I think the Back for Blood stuff is good if we're all on there doing that, which is, which we should do. But we will try and do more.
promise.
Definitely.
Okay. Pilch, there's a little bit of a crackle on your microphone there. I'm just going to might want to unplug and plug that back in again. I'm not sure what's going on with that.
Really? Here we go.
Yep.
Mine.
Yep.
Yeah.
It's feedback, something like that.
Okay, well, let's move on. Well, maybe Pilch just gets that sorted out and swears and whatever in the background. Let's move on to what we...
Can't hear you.
Can't hear me.
If he's talking, I can't hear him.
You won't plug my mic.
You need to plug it. You've unplugged your mic.
Yeah.
Let's move on to what we've been doing then. We can start with Neil.
Buckle. Feeling like shit generally for a week. So don't want to talk about it anymore. Other than last 3 days I've had massive sinus pains, which is not fun.
I'm sorry to hear that.
Got some stuff from the docs today, so fingers crossed. I did test negative for the first time this morning. Woo!
Okay.
Day 9.
Am I back?
You are.
You're back.
So
The noise, if you didn't hear me, because you made me unplug my microphone, and I've got noise cancelling headphones on.
not on our
The
end.
noise is my son having a shower directly fucking above me.
Oh, okay.
So you just have to wait a minute. I'll mute until I say something interesting.
No, it
which
wasn't
won't
a
be much.
shower, though. It was a crackle.
It was buzzy mic.
It was a
Electronic
buzzy.
noise.
It was an
It
electrical
was
crackle.
yeah.
Yeah. Stop blaming the kids.
Maybe it's the shower interfering with it.
Maybe.
Yeah, maybe.
If it's an electric
Anyway.
shower.
It is an electric shower, yes.
Oh, money bags.
I'm back now.
Well, why don't you tell us what you've been up to then?
Nothing. Next.
This is
I
going
thought-
to be a
There's
really,
definitely
really
there's definitely
compact
something in the
show.
show notes about what you've been doing. It's been
All
an
right,
interesting
I watched
week.
Tottenham Hotspur beat. I've watched Tottenham Hotspur beat the best team in the league, and then 3 days later lose to the worst team in the fucking league. But that's Tottenham. I didn't
Who's the
expect
worst team?
anything different.
Brighton. Is it Brighton?
They're not the worst
Burnley.
team.
Burnley, that's
Oh,
it.
they're not the worst team, are they?
They're the worst playing team.
Yeah, it's the worst one to watch. Yeah,
Yes.
mate, unless you're a Burnley fan,
Although
obviously.
not on
Maybe if you are.
Wednesday. Yeah, exactly. It's
So
been a
did
bit
you
of a
watch
up and
the?
down few weeks. For this.
Did you see Conte basically just said, "I've fucking given up and I just don't want this job anymore"?
Pretty much, yeah. It's amazing. All these wonderful there's these top quality managers that have got endless pots of money and the best players in the world win lots of things.
Till they come to Spurs.
And then they go to Spurs, well, they haven't got the best players and they haven't got the money, and all of a sudden they're shit managers. Funny that.
So it's not Spurs' fault then.
But then you have a manager who has done all right with Spurs, goes to like one of the richest clubs in the world and does nothing. Manages to lose the league that they win every fucking year.
Well, he'll be back one day, I'm sure.
He'll be
Maybe
quite soon
sooner
by the
than
sound
later.
of it.
Oh well,
Is that
never mind.
is that
Sunny
it, Pilch?
football.
Is that all you got for us, or have you got more? Because this is looking like a
Let me.
poor excuse of a show
All right,
right
let me
now.
think.
Well, no, I might have to
It's
talk about
actually
some video
been
games for
2
once.
weeks, isn't it? What have I done? What have I done?
How are your slabs?
No,
How are your
I
patio
haven't done
slabs?
anything.
You've been busy building and
There's-
stuff, haven't you?
Yeah. What happened about the
Oh, that
septic
was
tank?
weeks ago.
Well, I'm
Oh yeah,
interested
that's
in the
all in, all done.
Yeah,
Septic
that's
tank's
interesting, isn't
there,
it?
done.
What
Garden's
about
tidied
the?
up. Yeah, that was two weeks ago.
Yeah, you weren't on last
Well,
week,
no,
Coach.
I was supposed to be painting my boy's ceiling last weekend, but got distracted by various things. Oh,
Are
I'll
you
tell you what we
serious?
did.
Are we
Well-
filling up space by telling people things that we should have been doing?
Well, okay,
Yeah.
let's
Hang
go
on.
back to last week and why you wasn't on the podcast.
I wasn't on
was
the podcast because I had to work
No,
Friday evening.
On Saturday evening when we rescheduled because
Why wasn't I
Yeah.
on Saturday?
You had a social engagement at your house.
Oh, okay. Oh, yeah, that's interesting. All right, how can we do that one? Fuck me, it was a week ago. Right, apparently
took a
there's
bit,
been
but
some
got there.
wind. There's been a bit of wind, hasn't there? Apparently last week.
Yeah, a little bit, yeah.
And my mum and dad's electric went off for 4 days,
oh,
so
It's a good stint.
so I
That's a
decided.
proper-
I'd rather not have that, to be fair.
So we popped in on a Saturday morning on the way to, like, quick story. My best mate, been my mate since school. My wife, his wife, and him and me, we've been mates all since school, went to school together.
Swinging for decades.
We went Saturday afternoon to see his grandson just been born, and that is making me feel fucking old. It's the first one of my sort of
Inner circle.
circle of friends that are now grandparents.
Nice.
And yeah, so we went and had a nice cuddle with a little bubby. It's only a week old, so that was nice. I do like a baby, so I had a
Good
little
for the
cuddle with
soul.
him. Yeah,
I do like a
lovely.
baby.
Yeah.
They smell
do like
delicious,
baby.
don't they?
That
That
was nice. And
That
anyway,
talcum powder smell on a baby in a little onesie. Oh, and then you just...
I know it's so cute. Me and my mate Stu built this little mobile thing for him to play in. Took some balls in the ball pen. Tried to entertain him for a little bit, but it's a cute little thing. I love a little baby. Right. Anyway,
Enough
so
of that. Enough
on
of
the way
that
back,
toxic masculinity.
we decided to invite my mum and dad round for tea because they didn't have any electricity. So they came round at about 5 o'clock for tea and to watch the football. And my dad says, while we're having tea, "Oh, Pilch, did you see? It was a good game earlier, wasn't it?" And then I suddenly thought, "What do you mean, fucking good? Hang on a minute. How did you watch the football?" "Oh, electric come back on this afternoon." "Oh, right, okay. So you come around mine for tea, but you've got electric now, have you?" Luckily, it gone off again when they got home, so I felt a bit better.
Luckily.
Oh, dear. Then Sunday afternoon, our electric went off. The roast beef and roast potatoes was in the oven.
No.
Luckily, it only had another 20 minutes to go, so obviously the heat stayed in the oven, so that was all right. But the missus goes, "Oh, we just have to have meat and potatoes because I ain't put the veg on yet." I said, "Right, okay." Looked at her. "Why can't we have vegetables?" "Oh, because the electric's gone off." "Got a gas hob, yeah." So, "Oh yeah, got a gas hob." Turn the gas on, cook vegetables. And apparently they turned our electric off in our area so they could work on somebody else's so they could get theirs back on. So ours was only off for an hour.
Right.
So that's why I wasn't coming on to play Back for Blood. But when I did get back on, you got some fucking imposter filling my slot.
Yeah, there was dirty rando.
And then, yeah, and then he shot off, and then the begging started, didn't it? "Is Pilch coming on? Is Pilch coming on? Is he? Is Pilch coming on?"
The begging.
Oh, you can fucking play on your
Listen to
own
him.
now.
Oh, did you have the hump?
He had a sulk on.
You're getting a bit mardy.
Oh dear. So
Nice.
that was
Okay.
my non-eventful weekend.
Dave,
Hello.
you've got one thing on there.
Yeah, I've not got a lot this week.
No,
No,
I'm going to beat you all.
yeah, still waiting for my shed to be delivered. Got an email today, so it's going to be at the latest 7th of March. So I just got everything.
How much do you believe that?
Yeah, I'll see it when I believe it. I've got everything sort of prepped. I've got all my lists together of things that I need. Got my Sparky on
Don't forget to
standby.
chuck some. Don't forget to chuck some stuff on that list that you want, so that
Yeah.
when you show it to the boss, definitely need these.
Yeah.
What's this RTX 3080?
Yeah, I have got a need list and a want list, so yeah, we'll see how that goes down. But other than that, not a lot really. Working, still extremely tired, still getting over this COVID rubbish. But I had a bit of a sleep a lunch today. I have an hour for lunch. I probably slept for about an hour and a half until the missus came in and said, "You're supposed to be working." It's like, yeah.
I am working. Don't know what you're talking about.
So I've never done that before. I just slept through my alarm. But this week, one of the things that actually stood out to me was I watched Edward Scissorhands, which is on Disney Plus. I think it's nearly running out a month of Disney Plus. I used to really well. I used I used to think Edward Scissorhands was a good movie, and it's not. It's a really it's a really bad film. But you know when you look at something with fresh
Rose.
eyes,
Yeah. Okay.
it was like I think the last time I'd seen it was in probably in my 20s, early 20s. And I can see why, like at the time, I think it's a late 90s film, it was quite good. But looking back at it now, it just doesn't make sense. The whole film is is like the story is really bad. The acting's bad. Nothing makes sense. Um,
It was Tim Burton movies, though,
It was,
wasn't it?
yeah.
That sort of core Tim Burton era was like you went to be immersed in Tim Burton world, didn't you? You're like, what sort of crazy stuff is he going to throw at us? What kind of visuals? What kind of sets is he going to build?
Yeah, yeah.
That was all primary to it, and I guess maybe it hasn't
And
aged so well.
yeah, and it's, yes, you like even on the open sequence, it's a Tim Burton film, so you know what you're gonna get. A dark and slightly weird story. And yeah, but it was like even the realization that actually Edward Scissorhands isn't actually a human being, he's a robot.
Is he?
Yes.
Spoiler.
What?
Yeah.
What?
Watch the film again. It is not a human being.
Did you watch the right film?
Yeah. Yeah. Like he
Well,
looks at his
I don't know
little
many
thingy
humans with
robot.
scissors for
He puts
hands,
that
to be
he
fair.
puts that heart against it and goes, "Oh yeah, okay." And then Edward Scissorhands is born, but there's no ladies. There's no birthing.
He was
of
an
them.
immaculate
Like
conception, is that what you're saying?
he's.
Are you
like,
telling me there's not a Mrs. Scissorhands kicking around somewhere?
under his
Mother Scissorhands.
like when he comes back, he's in like a black PVC suit. Well, what do you think when you first watch it? You think, oh, that's his clothes, and it's like a weird leather PVC suit thing. It's not. That's his body, and then they put clothes on him, and yeah, there's a few things. It's like,
I don't think I've ever seen it.
but why does he bleed? And yeah, it. If you haven't watched it in a while, watch it.
You're not convincing me. You said it was shit.
You just spoiled it.
It's not. He's Edward and he's got scissor hands. But why even give him?
Is it
Why
Winona
give him?
Ryder in that one?
Yeah, yeah. Why give him? Right. If Winona Ryder wasn't in that film, like if her character didn't influence Edward Scissorhands, he would be an upstanding member of society. He'd be what's it called? Not a hedge trimmer, but he'd be like he does all the hedges, all the
topiarist?
topiaries. That's
Topiary.
it. Yes. He'll be doing people's hair. He'll be cutting
A hairstylist.
Hairstylist, a hairdresser, and a pet groomer. He would have a very good.
You're making me want scissors for hands now, Dave.
Yeah, like he would have done
so
very
many
well
job
for himself.
opportunities.
Like their neighbor actually
Neil
set up-
Scissorhands.
Yeah.
That's got to be the show
The sequel.
title.
The sequel.
Their neighbor actually set
He's
up.
writing that down. Look. He's actually
studio.
writing that down.
Yeah.
In his
Their neighbor
notebook.
set up a studio for him to work at, and then the lady of the house who worked for Avon, who brought him down from the hill and sort of introduced him to the neighborhood. They were all going to go into business together and actually make a start of doing all this stuff. And then Winona Ryder comes along, and then
Fucks
like-
everything up.
yeah, well, yes, she does. Yeah, her other half has a harebrained idea about how they can make some money quickly. But it's not actually. It's about getting him into trouble, and the only reason he gets into trouble is because he goes along because she wants him to, but like her fellow like bad decisions were made, and then it all falls apart. But if she wasn't there, if she didn't exist, like he would have done quite well for himself.
Sounds like there was definitely
It
one.
wouldn't
bad
be
decision
worth
to make.
watching that film at all if she wasn't in it. To be fair,
I don't know.
it's the only thing worth looking at in that film.
Unless you like PVC and scissors for hands.
Speaking of robot movies, I watched one this week, which was
Okay.
I rewatched it actually, which was Ex Machina, Machina, however you want to pronounce it. Very good. Yeah, definitely worth a watch. That's with
Oscar Isaac, is it?
Oscar Isaac is one of the main guys, and then
Who's the guy Star? They're both in Star Wars, aren't they?
they're both in Star Wars. Yeah, they both interact in Star Wars too. General Hutch. Hux.
He's the
Hux.
new bad guy
Yeah, the
of
Irish
the
guy,
First Order or whatever they're fucking called.
Irish ginger guy.
Yeah,
Yeah,
he
it's
was in
very good.
what was that fucking weird program? Black Mirror. He was in one of them where he died, and then he came back, like his missus got a dummy thing that behaved, and it had all of his memories and shit, and it was weird as fuck.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Right. The robot girl in the house.
Yeah, my
in
wife
the
thought it was
mountains.
weird, which means
Yeah, it was weird.
it was weird, but I thought it was. I'd seen it before, and I thought I think it's an excellent movie.
Is it better on a
It's very
second
good.
viewing, you think, than the first viewing?
It's interesting. It's one of those things. It's interesting on the second viewing if you already know how it ends, because then you get to rewatch it with completely different eyes, right? So yeah, it's definitely worth a second watch.
Can we start this podcast again? Because I have not got a fucking clue what you lot are talking about. What?
It's a movie.
What's it
Machina.
called?
Ex
Ex
Machina.
Machina.
Right. Okay.
Machina.
That's something I'll have to look out for. Okay.
Yeah,
It's the girl
I
from
watched it
Tomb Raider movies, the new Tomb Raider movie as well, isn't she? She's in that.
Yeah, it's good, but no spoilers because it's you want to it's good. It's worth a watch for sure. What else did I have on here? Mattress. Do you remember my mattress
Oh, yeah.
episode?
Oh yeah. Mattress
Oh
update.
yeah, this is the real stuff here, eh? Well, so anybody who doesn't remember the mattress episode, I think was I recording or just about to start recording? Some guy, or I was working. Some guy dropped off a mattress on my front door, which wasn't for me. It was completely addressed to a different place, and I thought I'm not going to do anything with it, so I put it in my garage, in my garage, and or my car hole, and I was I don't know. I was just annoyed because I felt like the delivery driver was just a piece of shit. Basically, he really fucked up the address, bringing it to me, and I felt annoyed that I would have to do something with it. Anyway, next morning, after a sleep, I woke up in a much better place, and I just basically wrote a note and walked the dog over to the people's house and just said, "Hey, your mattress is at my house. Come and collect it." So a very grateful lady turned up. I even helped her. Well, she couldn't lift it. I lifted it to her car,
Try it out. Yeah, I
and
bet
then
you did.
and then I took the seats down in her car. She didn't know what she was doing, so I took the seats down in the car and got it in through the boot. She's like, "Oh, it's a rental car. I don't know how the seats, whatever." And sent her on her way. So I was a good boy anyway. So she was very grateful. The mattress turned out to be for her daughter. So I was like, okay, well, I feel better that she's now got somewhere. Yeah, a child has somewhere to sleep now. So that was good.
Are you
And then
sure
what else?
you got the address right for the letter that you dropped?
I hope so. She was round there
Wasn't just
pretty
some random
swift.
woman going,
Nice,
Free
I'll have a
mattress.
mattress.
yeah.
Free mattresses. I did buy something this week. Oh look, I'll tell you what else I have. I know this is only good, but Dave will recognize it straight away. Most
Oh,
people should anyway.
Ooh.
I got a Blink. Somebody gave me a Blink mini camera.
Okay, yeah, internal one, yeah.
Yeah, and so, I also have a bunch of other things that I've been listing on Facebook Marketplace to just try and sell some stuff and put some more money towards my Xbox fund. Things I don't really need. Fucking hell, man! You see these people who sell tons of stuff. How they do it and don't just lose their shit all day with fucking tire kickers. Here we go. You can feel the rant coming, can't you? It's coming, buried deep inside and ready to come out. It's just like, I had this one back and I got one's an airbrush compressor, right? It's big, chunky little compressor or whatever for airbrushing. I put it on for $60, wasn't getting any hits. Put it on for $40, right? It's nothing. Definitely, if you need a little compressor like that for $40, it's you're never going to buy a new one for less than like a couple of hundred or something like that, But I just don't have a need for it and need to get rid of it. Oh my god, the back and forth with people.
Right,
Stop.
right.
What did you need it for in the first place? That's the question.
I was airbrushing when I went through a model building phase.
Okay.
When I gave up drinking, I needed to turn my attention to some crafts.
you've had it a while then.
Yeah, and then so I for about a year, I very intensely built models. Look, I've got one here that I
Right.
never finished.
Okay.
a submarine. Look, never
That
figured
looks
it out.
like it's quite easy to paint a submarine.
It's super easy. I just couldn't. By that point,
Yeah.
I was done with modeling.
Right,
But
I'll
anyway,
give you,
it's
I'll
just
give you, I'll give you a hint phrase, like from a friend who does quite a lot of this, is that actually put it on for near what the actual market price is for new is, and then when people will go lower
Mhm.
and be okay with that.
Oh yeah, yeah. But
Right,
it's not the going low part that it's not the price setting that
right,
bugs me. It's the like I can handle, and I have no problem in telling. I had some guy offered me like $20, and I'm like, nope, that's not going to happen.
right.
Um, and yeah, sometimes I have listed things about $20 more than what I expect because I expect to be able to drop her. When someone doesn't haggle, I can't understand why. Like I've
Right.
put stuff on for like full bang, and people have just come up, no questions asked. Here you go. Here's the money. Like, why wouldn't you just ask the question?
Yeah.
Like just asking a question could put
They
20
mu-
bucks in
they
your
must be
pocket.
British,
You
because
maybe.
we we
No,
hate it. Well,
But you
I
must
hate
be
not in
it.
my
thinking, hang on a
experience.
minute. You're thinking I've let that go too cheap. If they just go,
Maybe.
yeah, I'll pay that.
Yeah, well, I mean, you're always going to have that, aren't you? But I mean, like, I just fully expect to be to someone to. I always
Right.
ask, like, just see if you can
So
just.
Yeah.
put it on for 50, and when they don't haggle and go, yeah, I'll pay 50. Well, actually, it's 60. So yeah, we're going up
Actually,
now.
I've just had
Oh
another
yeah.
offer in for the same. So
Oh, you're someone who does. Yeah. Oh, you're not a haggler. Well, it just got more expensive. But I just, it was just like I had this one girl back and forth, back and forth. Like it's like just question after question after question about it. It's like it's a $40 compressor, and then she
you
said,
either
"Well, I
want one
can't
or
give
you
you
don't.
stay." Yeah, you're the one or you don't. And you know what? I'm okay. You're asking a few questions, but then it was like, well, I think I can get there Saturday night or whatever. I'm like that. Okay. And I said to her, do you want me to? Okay. Do you want me to hold it for you then? Well, as long as it works. I. And so I just wrote it back and went, okay, well, I'm not going to hold it for you then. I'll still keep the ad up. Fuck you. Right. You're just the tire
I've stopped
kickers.
selling. Yeah, I stopped selling stuff on eBay for so you just get fucking so many messages. If you want it, it's this description's there. If you want it, or you fucking don't want it.
Yeah. Oh, I did sell, but
Oh,
funnily enough,
I
I had
can't anymore.
it's brutal, eh? I had the compressor, and in the background of my compressor picture was a picture of the airbrush that I used to use. And this guy messaged me and he said, how much, is the compressor loud and how good is the airbrush? And I said, well, the compressor's loud, it's a compressor. And I said, the airbrush is crap. I'm just throwing it in because it's not a very good airbrush. He goes, well, I'll give you 25 for just the airbrush. And I'm like, okay, fine. So he came and picked it up, gave me 25, didn't haggle. Of course not, because he wouldn't haggle. He'd already given me the price. I should have haggled with him, eh? Got him up to the same price as the
Yeah,
compressor.
yeah,
You can buy the airbrush, but you get a free compressor.
yeah. You come all this way, you must really want this airbrush.
Yeah, but then he
It's an
came
extra
all the
$6.
I don't know how far he came, but he bought it and then it didn't work. He was like, "Dude, it doesn't work," and whatever like that. And I was just like, "Yeah, okay, fine. Come back, get your money." And he came back and got his money. And then I just said, "Keep it, right? I don't care, right? Just keep the airbrush. I'm sorry it didn't work. Maybe you can fix it later on, but I'm sorry,
Maybe it did work.
maybe it
Yeah,
did,
you
but whatever.
see.
But I don't
Maybe he
think
was
he would
haggling
have.
for a bit of cash off, like.
Well, he was coming to give it back to me, so I don't think whatever.
No,
So
Josh with me, mate.
but yeah, so that selling stuff isn't. So I've got a ton of stuff, but fuck, it's brutal.
So hang
Um,
on, whoa, hang on. This airbrush. So you sold it to a guy. He
yeah,
come and got it.
yeah.
It didn't work. So he come
You
back.
already
You
said it
give him
was
the money.
rubbish.
Why didn't you just throw it in the bin and don't worry about all the hassle of him having to
'Cause
come and you giving the money back? And why don't you just not sell it in the first place?
well, because I thought it worked, right? So it's
You
like
thought it
it,
worked.
it's a
Did
quick
you not try it with your
$25.
compressor?
But
Why
anyway,
didn't you try
I
it
just
first? If you'd have,
no, I
if you'd have
didn't try
finished
it.
that,
No, I wasn't
if
going
you'd
to
have
set up
finished
an
that
airbrush.
submarine, put the submarine together, give it a quick ride, see if it all works. No.
It's a good job Stan
Yeah.
wasn't in the background of the picture. Where he's like, yeah, come on.
So I've got a few of the other things up for sale, but my patience is wearing thin with punters right now. Um, but anyway, I did
What's
buy
wrong with
some.
Kijiji? Don't use
Kijiji.
that anymore.
It's not as good. It's
Yeah.
just it doesn't get. It's not. It's got the. It's not. I would put things on Kijiji if they were maybe a higher value, but this Facebook Marketplace,
Okay.
I don't know. Whatever. I
Alright.
just can't be. I'm too lazy to put it in two places. But I'll tell you what I did buy this week. I bought some emergency water pucks, like these leak detecting water pucks. So I bought 4 of them. They're probably about 40. I don't buy high ticket items like Dave does. It's $800 cameras or whatever, right? I buy $10 each water pucks. But they basically, you put a battery in them. They have terminals on the bottom and you put them down in the bathroom or under the sink. And as soon as they detect a puddle, they like buzz at like 80 decibels.
Okay.
Because I'm absolutely shitting myself that sooner or later I'm going to get a leak in one of the bathrooms. My neighbor did, and he said he had water just cascading down his stairs, right? And we had a leak in the basement. Something went. So I think
What?
that was
I thought you had a sump in the basement now as well.
no, we don't have a sump. We have a drain in the basement,
Right.
and luckily, but it's still caused like
Right.
everything that was in that basement area got soaking wet. We had to sit and sift through it and sort it out. Like if I had one of these down there and it got to it within a couple of minutes or whatever, or straight away, hopefully if you hear it. And it's just a
You could
little
have isolated
insurance.
it.
Yeah,
Right.
very, very, what I consider a very, very small purchase price for something that could potentially save me thousands of dollars in damages and whatever. And it's as well, like we have, freezing temperatures over winter, so you never know, right? What kind of
You
shit
could
could
have
Not
a leak,
break.
lagged
but it
all
could
your
freeze.
pipes.
We don't lag our pipes here. That I'm aware of. All the pipes are coming in from underground into the house, and they're buried deep, right? So they don't freeze in the ground. Um, yeah, I don't know. We don't lag our pipes, but if the furnace fails, right, and your house freezes, like my neighbors haven't been in their house for like ages. I should tell you my address. Come around and rob them, but I don't even think they've really properly moved in yet. But I just keep thinking, like, if their furnace fails, right, they're going to be in. You've got to have some sort of monitor or whatever to be careful if your pipes freeze and all that sort of shit.
Well, that's why
But
all
anyway,
these not air cons, but the central heating systems have holiday mode. Like literally keeps it above 5 degrees.
yeah,
Stop that happening. So, but yeah, if they've had a power cut or something interrupts it, then yeah, that
yeah,
it could just freeze and
yeah. Anyway,
destroy the house.
I'm paranoid about water, big
Mm.
time.
So how many did you get?
4. So a couple in the bathrooms upstairs, one in the kitchen, and then I'll probably put the other one in the basement. So yeah, anyway, just a little something. As you get older, you become a little bit more paranoid. Insurance, like when I was young, my dad would always be like, "Did you get insurance for this? Did you get insurance for that?" And it's like, fuck insurance, like whatever, no worries. Da, 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 da. I'm invincible. And then as you get older, you're like, "Oh fuck, I need to insure
Yeah,
everything. I better insure my notepads." Yeah, that's pretty much all I've been up to. Same old, same old, same old, same old. So
Well, you managed to drag that out quite a long.
yeah,
Considering
hopefully
there was
we got
fuck all in there.
some content.
Oh,
Yeah,
I forgot one little purchase that I made.
perfect.
Well, I think I might have mentioned it on the last podcast, but I bought AirPod Pros.
Yeah, you told us that.
I've been trying them out. Well, I hadn't used them. I've been trying them out all week while I'm gardening. Noise cancelling. I used to have just normal AirPods, but it was so loud if I was strimming or mowing the lawn or whatever. I had to put ear defenders on just so I could hear what I was listening to. I haven't been wearing any ear defenders this week because the noise cancelling cuts out all the sound from the lawnmower, a strimmer. It's ridiculous.
It really
Literally
works well.
cannot. It just sounds like an annoying little buzz. Whereas before, it's like I think the strimmer runs at about 110 decibels, and I cannot fucking hear it. All I can hear is just a little buzz, and my buds are the volume is like low as anything. Before I had to have the full blast, and have defenders on just to be able to hear what I was listening to try and drown out the sound of machinery. Can't hear it at all. It's unbelievable.
Mm-hmm.
Most amazing thing I've ever used.
Is
It
that
is
not
ridiculous.
doing something like blasting your ear with sound at the same
It's
time?
the
can't hear it, can
opposite
you?
sound.
It's the opposite
it's the
sound, isn't
opposite
it?
sound. Yeah.
So you're still
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
potentially
It just
really
count-
damaging your
Yeah, but-
hearing.
But you can't hear it. All you can hear
Yeah,
is
but you like,
podcast.
isn't there still something getting pounded into your ears?
No, I guess you'd have to think about it like waves, right? It's a wave coming in, and if you pound it, if the AirPods send a
sending it the
wave
other way,
against
isn't it?
it, they
Is it?
cancel it out. Yeah, and just and
Or is
dumb
it adding
down, right?
a
Honestly,
wave to
it's-
cancel it out that's going in your ear?
No, because I think your ear would know that.
Would it?
If it was damaging your ear,
honestly,
I think
it's-
your ear would tell you.
They are
Probably.
unbelievable. I didn't believe it would work. You can hear. I thought it might drown out like a TV if you're sitting in the room with a TV.
Definitely stops
yeah,
people
still
talking
hear a
about like you
TV.
can't hear anything that anyone else says.
Oh god, yeah, you can't hear a fucking thing. Can't hear a thing. There is a button on it to make it so that you can change it to hear more outside as well. So even though you're listening to something in your ear, it also sends the environment round, so it does the opposite thing. So you can still, if you're walking down the street or something, you can still hear
Can you listen
all
out
the
for
noises
murderers?
coming in.
Yeah. No, I've got.
I was a bit skeptical on it, but they're really good.
I've got a Jabra headset that it's around the neck thing that you put the headphones in, and the ANC, the noise cancelling is so good. Like it actually, I couldn't use it because it just freaked me out. Like not being able to hear my surroundings.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, I think if you've ever watched Tech Moan, which I'm sure a couple of you probably have on YouTube, he reviews a pair of Sony headphones which have a hole in the middle.
That's
so
what
they
I think
effectively
might be what ones I have. Well,
yeah, so effectively they
to the newer
always
version.
let in you're never
Right.
cut off from your surroundings
Right.
with them, right? Which is completely the opposite of Pilch's.
Well, mine I've got
function.
ones. They've got holes, but they you've got several modes like Pilch says. Like you can 100% noise cancel, or you can ambient sound, so you can hear everything that's going on around you,
Oh, right,
just by
okay.
tapping and stuff like that. That's
I
what my
also
Sony
found
ones
out
do.
that you can leave your phone on the table in a room and walk off, and you can hear conversations in the other room.
So you can go with the
You can set your phone down, yeah, and
You can spy on your family.
Apparently so. Yeah.
I tell you what, I have absolutely no desire to hear what other people are saying, because chances are you do not want to hear it.
What about the hoo-ha about Tesco's meal deals? Come on.
What?
I only heard about this today.
So did I, and we both work for Tesco.
Do you know why? Do you know why I heard about it? Because I took my son to school this morning, and it was a question on the Kiss Radio quiz
thing. That's all I've heard about. The whole fucking country's going absolutely mental because they've put the price of the meal deal up by 50p.
50p.
Okay, sorry. For those of us who missed this massive piece of world-shattering news that's going on right now, what is the meal deal?
That's when you go into Tesco's and you buy a sandwich and a drink and a bag of crisps. Usual, a sandwich is like £2.75 on its own, and you get a bottle of Coke and a bag of crisps as well. But you get it for £3.
Okay.
But usually, like when you ring it up, it's like £6
not only a
something.
sandwich; it's like the pasta deals.
There's loads of other stuff.
Oh yeah, sometimes you can get like 6-7 quid's worth of stuff, and you get it for £3. You can have one of the fancy juice bottles.
You usually get an innocent smoothie.
£2. Yeah, innocent smoothie, £2.95 on its own. For £3, you get a bag of crisps and a sandwich. Anyway,
well, I'm sorry. I thought the noise cancelling headphones were amazing, but that Jabra smoothie for getting it free instead of $2.95, shit, either blows my mind, man.
Well,
Mm.
it's a little bit
But
more expensive
apparently
than
the
it was.
whole
But they-
fucking country has gone mental over it.
Oh,
Don't worry
God.
about Russia invading Ukraine.
Oh, for God's
This
sake.
is the story of the fucking week.
Yeah,
Social
Christ.
media users branded it a dark day for the UK after meal deal price surge.
Fucking
Me and
get a
Neil
grip.
both work at
God, we're
Tesco's and
so
we
I
didn't
haven't
know
been there
anything
for
further
three
about it.
weeks, to be fair. It's been 3 weeks off work for me. 2 weeks holiday and a week sick
I
so
was
far.
I was working Wednesday and I still didn't know anything about it. Oh dear. And apparently on Sunday morning, one of the women in the bakery got her finger stuck in the machine and 3 ambulances and the fire engine had to turn up and
Ooh.
cut her out of it.
Ooh,
Nice.
She was cleaning the machine while it was on.
that's not very clever.
So no doubt
Next thing you
the
know,
rest of the
next thing you'll
bakery
be
will
telling me
having...
she was under 18 as well.
Oh no, she's an old woman. But I'm pretty damn sure that everyone connected anywhere near the bakery will be having a bit of retraining
Conversations.
this week. Anyway, video games.
Yeah, but
Come
that
on.
sort of reminds me, that one there is the old classic about the guy who got his dick stuck in the pickle slicer, right? And they're sort of like, was he okay? And he's like, well, yeah, they got it. You know, he's okay. He's fine. They're like, what about the pickle slicer? And then, well, she's okay too, right?
Ah.
Hey.
Oh, old ones are the best, Dad.
All right, then let's move on to what we've been playing.
Who's
Also
going
known
first,
as
then?
also known as Neil's Elden Ring section.
Right. Well, Elden Ring only came out at 11 o'clock last night, so I haven't played that much Elden Ring. But I have been
17
playing
hours.
Elden Ring.
All right, well, you might as
Been
well
playing
kick us
Elden
off then.
So we'll leave. Oh, fuck it, I'll talk about that first. I was going to talk about Dark Souls 2 because I've been playing a load of that, but I ain't going to play that anymore.
Why?
Why? I'll show you why. So I'm going to show you some Dark Souls 2. It's an old game now, but I thought when I first started playing it, it actually looked pretty good. It was definitely a bit of a step up from Dark Souls 1 remastered. And yeah, it's a bit different. Like I think I said last week, mechanically, there's a load of. They always change things up a little bit from game to game, but I was enjoying it. I got to a point though. Well, I can't even remember what I got to. You get to this. You can go in all different directions in Dark Souls. Usually, and if you go the wrong way, it's really hard. So you need to go back and find the way you're supposed to go for your level or your skill level. Yeah, I just stopped playing it basically because Elden Ring came out. So Dark Souls, like I said, looks pretty good. And then Elden Ring comes out, and it looks a fucking loads better. Well, I say it looks loads better. When it's running smoothly, it looks fucking loads better.
Yeah,
It's
because
a
I
modern
did watch you. I watched you play a bit of this last night, and yeah, you streamed private streaming. That's what we did last night
in Discord.
And yeah, there was a bit of choppiness, wasn't there?
Yeah, it's like I said, there's definitely a few issues with the PC version. I think there is stuttering on the PS5 and Xbox versions as well, but not quite as bad.
Well, when I joined you last night, the like you literally just started playing, and I think there was like a cutscene, and it was really funny because you're like, oh, there's like a blood splatter on the door that you used to exit, like the first bit you're in. So it's like, I went to bed at that point, but it was just like literally like before you got to the door, or as you got to the door, it was like a blood splatter because people had died at the door. Like, and that just sort of tells you all about it, doesn't
it's like,
it?
well, I think I know what's going to happen here. Is I'm going to go through this door and die.
Yeah.
Isn't that a little bit spoiler? Like, can you turn that off?
No,
You
well, it's
must be able
online,
to.
isn't it? So that's just the way it is. Don't know what happened.
So, is there only one person in the world who got to experience like not seeing
I
a
don't know
spoiler
really.
as they go to
I
a
don't know.
door, right?
I don't know really. It's just
when
That's
you-
part of the fun, isn't it? It's like, well, why did they die?
there was an area I got to earlier, and there was just fucking bloodstains everywhere. I was like, what the fuck went on here? But it's
is that
it's
when
like
you really? Is that when you sit up in your
it's
chair?
like you go, do I really want to go that way right now? Maybe I'll just go this way instead.
Is
But
it the
yeah,
same premise? Because I know, like,
mate, it's like
on the previous
fucking.
games, there's
You
you get
obviously this.
souls and you
Yeah,
level up with the
you're
soul.
now collecting runes instead of souls.
Right,
But
okay.
basically, mechanically, it's very similar in terms of you've got less attributes to spread your stuff across now
Right.
than you've probably had in any of the other games. So they've made that a lot more simpler, and there's now crafting, which has not been in any of the games before. So you're running around because it's like an open world. Well, parts of it are open. You're just running around in this open world, and there'll be like what I was fucking running around in this area. What's it called? Limgrave or whatever. You find a map fragment, so then you can see what's on the map or the area that you're in, and it's like it's proper like Lord of the Rings and stuff like that, like lore style. I mean, it is really very similar to Lord of the Rings, in my opinion. But this is written by George R.R. Martin. Obviously, wrote all the lore and the backstories and all that sort of stuff. So I would say it was more polished. Like story-wise, it definitely feels a bit more coherent than the others have. And despite being in an open world, you are progressing a story as you go through, which maybe has been a bit more obtuse in the other games. The action fighting wise is very similar. It's like if you've got a shield, you parry or you try to and fail and get stabbed, or so you just end up dodging everything instead. And then for me, it's melee combat all the way. I've never played as a like magic type characters or clerics with miracles. So like I said, it looks fucking way better, like on a still. And for most of the gameplay, it runs quite well, but occasionally it fucking massively tanks on the frame rate, and it's just a bit random how it happens.
Is it just when there's lots of characters?
No, not really. Well, no, not really. Like it can run completely fine when there's loads of other enemies on the screen, and then occasionally it'll just take a massive shit and go no, and go down to about 8 frames per second. And you're like,
Wow.
okay, but as long as that doesn't happen in the middle of a boss fight, for example, then that's okay. I can put up with the bad frame rate, occasional bad frame rates, if you're just wandering around the open world and it's not, it's annoying. But yeah, if you're trying to time a dodge roll or something and it happens, and you don't dodge because it's in a massive frame drop, yeah, that's fucking annoying. It hasn't happened too much. But yeah, I will be playing this a lot. I think I don't know if I'll be playing much other than this and Halo. I should think for the next few weeks. There's loads of, like you've just seen on the stream if you're watching. There's now a steed that you get. It's like a weird cross between a horse and a cow. It's got fuck off big horns on it, but is essentially a horse. It's magical, like it appears from nowhere, and you get on it and it helps you traverse the open world much quicker. But I've still spent a lot of time just on foot.
I saw someone on our Twitter feed said they'd finished it. So is there an end game that quick? I
don't know how long the story takes, and I don't know how big the world is or anything like that. But I tend to take my time. I don't know. I just like.
I may be missing something here. Is this? I always thought that this was something like the Elder Scrolls Online. Like, isn't that just like there's no end game?
No, it's not an MMO.
Oh, it's not an MMO.
No, it's not. Well, like you see like images of like ghosts, outlines of other people in the world while you're mooching about, but you don't interact with them. But then there are times when you can interact with others. Like you can. I think you've got a bit more control over this now, where you can get invaded by other humans, but I think it's basically an opt-in thing now, from what I can work out so far. You still get invasions from NPC characters when you're plotting around. Like I've had a couple of invasions. Did you watch me get invaded? They're like red-looking characters.
No.
And usually they're quite hard. It's like a one-on-one fight, and they'll introduce new mechanics that you haven't experienced with like the noddy characters, the soldiers that you've been fighting or whatever before. But yeah, I'm fucking loving it so far, because I don't know, about 6 or 7 hours of just plotting around. I've died a few times, not mega loads. I definitely would have died a lot more if it was a Dark Souls game. Like that Dark Souls 3, I died I don't know how many fucking times in 3 hours, the first 3 hours of that game, because you essentially walk straight into a boss fight. This game, you were a boss fight really early on, but it doesn't expect you to win. When you lose, which I don't know if you can win. I guess if you can, if you do win, if it is possible, you get something special. But most people will die in this first boss fight, and then that just then is part of the story, and you.
Right. Yeah, that's not unusual. That happens, right?
Yeah,
With a lot
exactly.
of games where you get the shit kicked out of you by someone straight away.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But it's a shame about the performance problems.
I guess my thing, I've completely then misunderstood what this game is, because I was under the impression it was sort of like an MMO and everyone was going to be playing together. But really, it almost sounds like just another Souls game. Not and I don't mean that disparagingly, right?
Yeah.
But do you know what I mean? Another single player Souls experience with some sort with.
I think there's a lot more, like I said, there's a lot more opportunity to just go, I need some help here, and just pop a cult. It was almost like a finite resource in some of the other games where you could only do it, or you could only call on people at certain points. I'm not sure. I haven't really looked into it properly, but I believe it's a bit easier to just go, do you want to just come in my game? Or just go fuck off around together for a while. Whereas you basically used to summon people for help with a boss fight in the old games. But I don't know. I might be talking bollocks there.
Because all these games, all these functions and the is completely on the whim of the game and situational and not made obvious.
Yeah. I mean that's. I've tried not to watch too many videos or read too much about it, but
It looked to me when you were playing it that you had a bit of an advantage by being a bit of a Souls veteran, right?
yeah, I'm definitely not a good Souls player, but having played a few recently,
persistent Souls player.
Yeah, but I mean, you know what? I think it's funny you say you're not a good Souls player, right? You know what? How many millions of people fire up a Souls game and never carry on, right? So there is like, don't undersell yourself.
I have at least finished
right?
some.
Yeah, all right. Yeah, to me, you're completely a Souls player, right? You've completed a couple of games. You fucking go back in there. You don't mind your fucking butt being whipped. Like you can take the cock and ball torture. I don't know. Like you're
See, I
definitely a
don't know.
Souls player,
I
right?
think this is definitely, like they keep saying, this is a more accessible Souls game, the most accessible one they've done. When you get into a fight, you can die very, very easily still. But I don't feel like
You know what it
the
reminded me
punishment
of
is
when I was
quite as
watching
bad.
you? When I was watching you fight some of them, it really reminded me of Death's Door, right? It was that sort of like just take your time.
Yeah.
You know,
It's only
just
when you
be
get cocky that you fuck up, basically.
Right. Yeah.
Like, are you like? There's like, I've encountered several packs of wolves, and it's like I'm going up this fucking creepy little hill. It's all like wind, fucking blowing around. The rain's pissing down. Can't really see much, and I'm like making slow, steady progress up this hill on a narrow path up the side of a cliff or whatever. Because I'm thinking there's bound to be something that's going to try and fuck me up at some point along this hill path. But so I'm not going. I'm not just like chugging along, fucking like Billy, like fucking not a care in the world, blah blah blah. I'm just like creeping along, like looking left and right, clicking the aim stick. There's loads of like, there's an auto aim. I just went in and turned that off straight away because I was like, I don't like the sound of that. So I click the right stick everywhere I go, and it'll like lock onto an enemy, or not necessarily an enemy, like a piece of wildlife, because now you're fucking killing birds and sheep that roll down hills and fucking God knows what else. To collect resources to make bows, arrows for your bow. There's fucking loads more mechanics in it, but they have made loads of other stuff much more simple. But basically, it is a Souls game at the end of it.
Yeah.
So, like I say, I've barely scratched the surface. It's like a lot of people have likened this to like what Breath of the Wild did for Zelda, and this is what this has done for Souls games. I've not played Zelda Breath of the Wild. I haven't played a fucking Zelda game in donkeys, but they were a bit more like linear experiences, weren't they? And then Breath of the Wild just completely changed it into this open world, go wherever we fucking like, do whatever you fucking want type of game.
I don't know. Don't start me on that.
Yeah. Well, which you may not have liked if you were a hardcore Zelda fan.
Well, the most
Or
bizarre
you may
thing
have
about
really
that
loved
is
it.
I absolutely hate that direction they've taken. Yeah, I still put in like it must have been 120 to 150 hours into Breath of the Wild. So I don't know what I'm talking about. Like I'm so confused over that.
I hate it, but I've got to play
I
it
would
all.
like nothing more than a traditional Zelda game. But they say same thing they did with Metal Gear Solid 5. They did the exact same thing. They made a completely more open world. On paper, I fucking hate it compared to the other Metal Gear Solids, but I still put in like 150 hours.
Wow.
So I don't know.
Yeah. Well, I've, like I say, barely scratched the surface, really. I've got a lot more to play.
That would make sense though if you're saying it's like a Breath of the Wild. It's like you can go like motor towards the end goal and get her done, right? Yeah. So I guess maybe this would be the same, but then you're missing out on that whole living in the world, right, and finding out what secrets it has tucked
Yeah, it's
away.
like, I don't know, like where I'm creeping up around, taking my time. There's like, oh, there's a little gap in this rock here, and there's a little stairway down, and there's a little mini dungeon maybe at the end of it, and stuff like that you completely miss if you just fucking hoofing it off wherever the next sort of waypoint is on the map.
Right. Yeah,
And
that
there's
sounds
nothing
all
on the
right,
map like to say where to go or anything like that. So it's just like completely like fucking off you go. Try and find your way around. Doesn't tell you where you're supposed to go really. So you could go completely the wrong way and find it really hard, I guess. But because I'd played the network test, I had a bit of a like I'd played the beginning of the game before, but I didn't play it for long, so I was like I couldn't really remember. Like I ran around for ages, like I can't remember how to get my fucking horse. I was like, that's why I was walking around for ages. Like I know I'm supposed to get a horse at some point, but I can't remember how I got it. And you have to basically go to a touch grace at some place, which is like the new bonfire.
There was lots of hilarity last night because Grace is my wife's name.
I said Fraser had to look away every time I touched Grace.
And I said, no, I want to watch underneath a pile of clothes in the corner.
But yeah, it's like I said, it's a real shame that there's this fucking few performance issues on it because it's clearly, I think it's definitely the best one they've done, but the other ones have all run better, but they've not looked anywhere near as good. So
I did have a quick look, and there's loads of advice about what to
yeah,
disable to.
yeah, it's your mileage may vary with all of that, I think. So
Grass apparently is.
yeah, I turned the grass down. It still does it every now and again. I don't know if it really made any difference. I was like, it was running at 60 frames most of the time, and then it just go absolutely fucking dire occasionally. So it's like, I don't know. But yeah, there'll be more Elden Ring talk. That's for sure.
Sounds like it.
Cool.
All right.
You got some other stuff.
I have. What did I say? So I sort of, yeah, I don't think I'll be going back to Dark Souls 2 anytime soon. So that's definitely on the back burner for a while. I've played a load of Halo. It's the
Halo. Still
what's
Halo.
it called? Fracture Fiesta event is back on, where you get the samurai gear. I started as a samurai, by the way, in Elden Ring. That was my starting class.
So what's this for Halo? Is it for multiplayer?
Yeah, it's like a special multiplayer mode where it's the Fiesta mode is normally in there anyway, but basically Fiesta is Slayer with random weapons. You spawn with random weapons. So you could have like a pistol and a plasma pistol, or you could have a rocket launcher and an energy sword when you spawn in, and every time you die, you get a new set of weapons. So it's pretty chaotic generally, and it's quite fun. And I've only got 3 levels of the samurai shit to unlock, which I could potentially do in the next few days if I played a bit more, maybe. So
But you probably won't.
uh, I usually, because I have to play a PC game or whatever every day on my daily quest bollocks.
Have to.
And to get my points, I have to. It's
Yeah.
300 points a day if I just play a PC game for like 10 minutes or whatever. So Halo is the one I've been playing with, because it's if you get extra bonus points if you play with friends, which basically means online multiplayer. So yeah, I've been doing that, and yeah, it's Halo multiplayer. I've said enough about it, I guess, before. But the only other game I've played is one that Pilcher's also played, I believe.
Mhm.
So we maybe both talk about it. Grid Legends.
Yeah. I want to know about that actually.
Have you played it as well?
I played for a couple of hours.
So have I. And
I kind of like it.
okay, there's not. It's just another track racer, isn't it?
Well, it's a bit more arcadey.
After coming from Forza, it just doesn't seem to be anything to do apart from drive around a track.
Well, you have to do the story, don't you? You're doing a story mode, basically.
Right, so we haven't got the full game. It's only a 10-hour trial, and a lot of it is locked off.
Oh, is it?
Yeah. I started the story, and I think I've done about 5 chapters, and then it stops. You can't do any more. And then so
That
I
makes sense,
decided
to be fair.
I went on to just the general one series races. So I think I was in a Ginetta for a bit, and then I did some single seater. And again, you can do 1 or 2 races, and then it stops. You can't then do the next sort of set. It's all locked. So looks wise, there's something wrong with the cars. They on the track, they don't look like they're on a road. They don't look like they're moving on a road. They're just gliding along. And I couldn't. I've got it on 4K and 120 FPS. It runs smooth as butter, but for some reason their cars just don't look like they're. It's like they're on ice, sort of thing. It's just a complete flat surface. There's no bumps. There's no jump. You don't. The car's not moving, and it just doesn't feel right. And the cars look a bit cartoony. They don't look like proper cars. They're not got the detail that Forza's got in it. I wasn't overly impressed. It's not the best. I don't even think it's the best grid, let alone the best Xbox.
Well, I can't remember the last time I played Grid. It's been a while.
So I wasn't overly impressed. I think I've played it for about 2 hours, and I'm probably done now. Actually, I'm not going to get the full 10 hours in. Yeah.
Oh, it's got.
So what did
It
you
says there's a box that you ticked for cross-platform play, which I did tick.
Yeah.
So I guess you can have online multiplayer, which maybe could be interesting.
You can do. I tried to do multiplayer race with a load of randos, and I just sat in the lobbies waiting for someone to initiate a game. I mean, it's literally come out the last couple of days, so I shouldn't think there's actually that many people playing it.
Yeah.
There didn't seem to be that many cars either to sort of buy. It's more. You have one car for one series, and then you move on, sort of thing.
Yeah. It's like Grid. That was Grid, though, wasn't it?
Cars. Yeah. It's just but it just doesn't seem like there's much of a game anymore. There's not enough in it to keep me entertained.
It's got a massively cheesy story, though. Do you like Dirt? You liked Dirt 5, though, didn't you?
Yeah, because I like rallying, whereas this is more just track.
Well, this reminded me of. It's like a track version of Dirt 5, or like a story mode, and all the fucking bullshit acting and all that crap.
Yeah,
but The actual racing is pretty arcadey.
Mm-hmm.
Your mileage may
It
vary.
just seems a bit bare bones, though. Like I say, it's not all got the crap.
Maybe
You
it's
don't
just because we're
smashing
not
into
playing the
things.
full game. I don't know.
Mm,
But it was
maybe.
all right. Big bag of okay.
Yeah.
There's better out there. That's for
I
sure.
wouldn't buy it. Maybe when it comes on properly on EA Play in 6 months' time, I'd give it another look. But I'm definitely not going to pay any money for it.
Yeah, I could see my going back to it for a EA Play, probably. Especially if we can if we can get a few people on there and multiplayer, that'd be a laugh. Because it's definitely a lot more forgiving than
I'd
most.
rather just play Forza if I need a racing fix. I'll just play another few races on Forza. I think. I mean, well, I say that I'll end up playing it and finishing it and playing it for 20 hours because that's I always do on racing games. I didn't particularly think Dirt 5 was particularly varied, but I ended up finishing the whole bloody thing anyway. So I've got time on my hands and no game to play, so I'll put 40 hours into something else. I played 19 hours of Resident Evil 6 in the last 2 weeks, so
Wow.
I'm only halfway through it. But
Neil, did you have anything else, or do we
That's
want
it.
Pilch
No,
to go on with it?
we'd segued over to Pilch there, but obviously you missed that point.
Oh,
We've done it so professionally and smoothly that it completely passed you by.
yeah, I know, and now he's stopped again. So Resident
are we
Evil
going to
6.
do that? Should we do these segues where we don't even? Yeah, I mean, we could
We've been here that long that we could just get on with it. Like
we could just make me redundant, right? At some point, the sooner we can, figure out a way to just, negate my role on this show, the better we'll all be, right? I'll muscle my way back in.
Right, Resident Evil 6. I have finished Leon's story. There's basically 4 stories.
Yes.
I said
for each character.
last time that you meet other characters along the way in the story, so I knew that when I started to play Chris's story that at some point I'm going to come across Leon because I met Chris when I was playing Leon. What I didn't realise was playing Chris's story, the gameplay is completely different. It's almost a different game, even to the point that all your weapons wheels and it does the same thing when you press the button, but it's all different. So on Leon's game, when you brought your weapons wheel up, it would be like it was in a straight line.
Oh yeah.
When you play Chris's game, it's all in a circle.
Yeah,
And
they
it
do
basically
that.
does the same,
They
but
have done
it
that on
makes
other
it feel
games.
like it's completely different. I'm playing it differently because he's more of an army guy, and he's shooting. He's got bigger, better guns. You start off with a assault rifle, and then you pick up a shotgun later. But I'm finding a lot more ammo for the heavy. Before I played nearly all of it with a pistol with Leon, and it was just not slow, but you only had maybe 4 or 5 enemies at any point, and they were slow moving, and you could take your time and punch them or shoot them with a pistol, cut the headshots and they're down, sort of thing. This next Chris's story is a lot faster paced, and it plays almost like a Gears game. A lot of cover and a lot of running and gunning, and it's just plays completely different. I've just finished his story now, and I didn't realise I got into this little area with Leon where you had to do you got locked into an area, and while someone was trying to get the doors open, you had to fight off these enemies. And I knew there was something going on through the glass on the other side of this room, but I didn't pay much attention to it. When I got to Chris's story, I got into the same building, the same room, and when I looked across, Leon is in the other side of the building doing what I was doing before,
Right.
which was I thought was quite cool. And you've got to chase Ava, I think her name is. She's in the story a lot.
Ada.
Ada,
Ada
that's it.
Wong.
And yeah, that's it. Yeah. And at one point, I had to, when I was playing Leon, I had to shoot. I had to stop Chris from shooting Ada. So I knew that when I got to Chris's point, I was then the one that I was going to shoot her, and then Leon comes
Right.
along and whacks me on the back of the head, sort of thing, and whatever. So you're constantly following the same story and coming across. And the end of it was, there was this something happened, and in Leon's story, a jet fighter flew across and blew up some of these missiles that had been set off. And then when I was Chris, I was in the fighter jet blowing up the missiles. So it all tied in really well. I've still got two more stories to play, which is, I think it's Ava, and then there's another girl, I can't remember what her name is, little blonde girl. But I've played it for 20 hours so
Oh
far.
yeah. There's lots of
I'm
value in these
assuming
games.
oh
Uh,
god, yeah.
I was going to ask you, because I think in Resident Evil 5, that's where I know Ada from, because she pops up in that in a couple of times.
Right.
I think there's one bit where she throws you a rocket launcher or something in that one. I think.
Yeah.
But there is also
Something like that, yeah.
there is an unlockable Ada's story, I think, in Resident Evil
Right.
5.
Okay.
So they have that's the same thing. I think you go through a whole backstory where it ties in with your interaction with they really do put the time in on these games.
Everyone told me that there wasn't much story and then it was one of the worst games. I think it's the best one I've played. I think it's bloody brilliant.
All right.
And I've just there's pretty apart from a little bits and pieces, that's all I've been playing. And I'll start the next story tomorrow and start again and see how that goes. The only thing is, there's loads of upgrades to get, the same as the other one. You get your points, and at the end of each level, you can upgrade your stuff. But I don't seem to be getting much money to upgrade stuff. I think I've only upgraded, like I've got some extra ammo for one of the guns, or I've got some critical hit bonuses or something. But I've played through two whole stories. There's this massive reel of upgrades to do, and I haven't got no money to undo them. I don't know how the hell you're supposed to unlock them all. I don't know how many times they think you're going to fucking play this game to unlock all this shit. But it's really good. It's so much better than 5.
Oh yeah.
Way
Okay.
better. It's just faster paced. Yeah, it looks better because it's obviously a newer game. It feels more like a current game rather than the other ones feel a bit old and clunky and they just tightened them up a little bit. This one feels like something that you would have, they could have only made it it feels like it was made for a Xbox One, not a 360. It's really good.
Is it that old then?
And it's co-op all the way through.
Yeah, I've got it on my PS3.
Ooh.
Yeah.
But
yeah, very impressed with
2012.
Yeah, there you go.
Yikes. Yeah. So that's late 360, isn't it? So.
Yes.
Only other thing I have played, I have purchased a game. I bought Borderlands 3 I bought a disc, which is a bit annoying now because every time I turn the Xbox on, the fucking disc fires up, even if I'm not playing the disc. Can hear it tick 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 and whirring away in the background, which is annoying me.
We have some our problems in our life, don't we?
Yeah, well, the thing is, it's silent. You cannot hear a thing on it normally. It's completely silent. And now this disc is whirring away every time I start it up. I bought it because Jack bought it on Steam. I think I might have told you on the stream. I haven't mentioned it on the show, I don't think. I paid £4 for it, brand new, off of eBay. I think I got it. It was a German version. It's all got German writing on the disc on the box, but the game is the same. It's an English game, so it didn't make any difference. Oh my god, I had a fucking palaver. Right, there's a thing there called shift account or something.
Yeah.
Right, so if I start up the game, first thing it says, if you want to play with your friends, cross-play, you need a shift account. So I thought, okay, I'll just log in as I'll make an account. Basically, all you have to do is have a username. So I thought, okay, Piltreed, yeah, lovely. This name has gone. Okay, why has it gone? Oh, because I've played Borderlands to death before. I've obviously already registered an account. Okay, that's easy enough. I'll put in my email address on, because I couldn't change it because it's already been allocated to someone else, but it turns out it was me. So I thought, well, okay, I'll go in and see if I can get back into the account, because why would it not recognize that I was already Piltreed when it's attached to my Xbox? So I goes on to internet and clicks into the shift thing. Oh yeah, we can see you've got a name. This name's been used, but it's on this email address. Okay, email address that I used 12 years ago that no longer being used. Oh great. Okay. How the fuck am I going to get out of this? So I had to go onto my Xbox account online to my Microsoft account, and on there I've got linked a Gearbox username. The username was attached to my old email address, but it's attached to my current Xbox account. So all I could do on there was change the name of my username, but I couldn't access it via Xbox.
No.
So I had to change it to something completely random, go back onto the Xbox, and then just have Piltreed as my username, because it's now gone I've changed it on the other account. I cannot access that other account. It's still attached to my Xbox account, but I cannot unattach it.
You can't.
Also,
You can't kick
apparently,
it. You can't unattach. You can't unattach it from the Xbox side.
you can only do it from the shift account side, which I think it must be an old thing going back, because I know that damn well that you can go on Xbox now, have a look for any permissions that you've allowed, and just untick them. So I don't know, but it turns out it doesn't matter, because all you need is that username to. It doesn't have to be attached to an email address or anything. If you want to find me now on the shift friends, you just put in Piltreed and then I come up. But I've got no way of. It's not attached to anything. So God knows how the next time another Borderlands comes out and they change the system again, I've got no way of getting in or out of it. Fuck knows what you do. But I've
Yeah.
managed. Jack's found me. We've been playing Borderlands 3 together. Only reason I bought it was because I wanted to play with him. So we've done probably 3 hours in the other day, just a little dabble. It's Borderlands. It's exactly the same as Borderlands 2. I actually bought it day one on the PlayStation because me and Robbie used to play a lot
Well, I
of
thought you used to play it. Talk about that
Borderlands
boss wave.
2. So I actually I must have also played it. It must have been a free weekend on Xbox because I had a game save, but the game save was registered with the other username, so I couldn't do anything with it. So I had to delete my game save, totally wipe it off the cloud, and start again. And I've got achievements from like 2019, whenever it fucking come out. But so I've wiped everything. I've got a new username, so everything seems to be working fine. It's regardless of the fact that I've still got a PlayStation and an Xbox account attached to a shift account that I can't do
Shift
fuck all
account, you
with.
can't sit. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm probably getting 400 million key codes that sent to me, because that's the whole point of having a shift account. Is get codes for weapons, for keys
Yes.
to unlock weapons. well, I can't get them codes now because I can't attach my email address to it. I mean, you can go online and get all these. A lot of them are, some of them are one use only codes, but a lot of them are just a standard code that you just type in anyway and you get shit. So,
Yeah.
but there's so many guns, it doesn't fucking really matter. These constantly picking up another gun. There's
Yeah.
like a million guns.
Yeah,
But
those
it
shift
is bloody
guns,
good.
they scale to your level. So like if you
Mm-hmm.
like, most people actually say just pick them up at the end when you're actually like top level, so you
Yeah.
can actually like they'll actually be useful for end game stuff.
But it's good to get back into the world. It is a good game. So good. It's just funny. All the characters are the same.
Yeah.
I've got a little mech thing. I started off playing with a dog. You get some pets to help you. And you can just got loads of skill trees and God knows what. But I didn't like the dogs because they just, you set your dog off and it would run off and just go and fucking kill random things. I didn't like that. So then I started I reset it and started as a mech. Basically, you get this like Titanfall when you want to use your specials. You jump into this little Titan and you get a fucking massive rocket launcher and a machine gun on it, and that lasts for a couple of minutes and then it stops again. No turrets. I always used to like a nice turret, chuck a turret
Yeah,
down.
I liked that character. I can't remember.
But there's no
what
turrets
name.
on this one. So
Right.
4-player cross play. It's a
I
good
really
game.
should jump in. I think I've still got it installed actually. I really did enjoy it, but
Okay.
like nobody I knew was playing it. But if you're playing it, I will.
Yeah.
I'll
I'll play it till I finish it. I finished all the other Borderlands.
Right.
But I don't know why I didn't. I bought it. I know I bought it. I think I got it from Argos for like 20 quid the day it come out because they were doing some ridiculous sale. And I seem to remember playing it for about a couple of hours and then thinking, oh, I don't like this one. And then I took it back to Argos and got my money back.
Oh wow.
And then I never played it again. So, but then when Jack said he's got it on bloody Steam for like 5 quid, I thought, oh, okay. I've noticed there's a problem though.
Apart from the user ID and the Steam and the
Yeah, no, well,
Shift
not a
account.
problem, but
And the disc wearing.
the price
Is the real problem.
Right, PlayStation games, PS4 games that are also on PS5, or well, PS4 games in general, are fucking dirt cheap because you can
On
only
disc.
play them on on disc on a PS4. Xbox games, because they are what's it called? Buy anywhere. What's the thing called?
Play anywhere.
crossplay.
Where they are,
Or...
where
Backwards
you
compatible.
buy it, but it doesn't
Enhanced.
matter which one you're
Yeah, back compatible.
using it on.
Oh,
No, not
no,
that.
no.
Smart
No.
delivery.
Right, smart delivery. Doesn't matter which one you buy. If you buy it for Xbox One, it fucking works on a Series X.
And you get the Series X version.
Xbox One second-hand games are twice the price of PS4 second-hand games because you can only play that on a PS4.
You can play it on a
It
PS5, but
doesn't
it's still the
upgrade.
PS4 version.
Yeah, it's still the PS4 version. Whereas if you buy an Xbox One version, as soon as you put it in a Series X, it upgrades you to the Series X version.
That's not every game, is it? But
no, but yeah, anything that has got a Series X version, like Borderlands. So I bought the bog standard Xbox One Borderlands version, but as soon as I put it in, it says, "Oh, you've got a Series X. Here's 4K Super Duper."
Nice.
But it doesn't do that if you buy a PS4 disc. You can only play it on a PS4 or play it on a PS5, but it's still a PS4 game. So PS4 games are cheap. All Xbox One games, fucking still stupid money, even secondhand.
how much was you paying?
All right, I only paid 4 quid, but that's not the point.
How much is the PS4 version? Like £1?
No, but I mean other games in general. I was looking at other games. It's only that I found this German copy for 4 quid. The cheapest I could find a second-hand copy of Borderlands was about 20 quid. Whereas PS4, you could get it for like 3 or 4 quid.
Mm.
But other than that, I think that's me done then. So I'll be playing a lot of Borderlands. I'll be playing a lot more Resident Evil, but Grid Legends probably not. And I didn't even get Back for Blood mentioned, did I?
No.
You have
Dave,
to
do you
play
want
it
to?
first.
Dave, you've got a comprehensive list here. Do you want to?
Oh yeah, massive list. I've been doing a lot of Warzone this week actually.
Oh shit! I need to get back on that.
The new map is really good. I'm doing I think I said about it last week. The Warzone Team Deathmatch. They switch up whereabouts on the island because it's a very condensed place that you're playing in. And
This is
yeah,
the
really
Pacific
enjoying
map,
it.
is it?
Yeah, it's the Vanguard map.
Oh, what's
So
that?
World War II themed. I can't remember what
This
the name of
it's
it is.
still Rebirth Island though, is it? The little map.
No.
Or is
I
that
don't
wrong?
know. I haven't played on Rebirth Island. I've just been
Oh, okay.
playing the Clash version, so which is the team
Right.
deathmatch. Which is what we're seeing in the video if you're watching on Twitch. It's great, still great. Although what I did find is that when you go into Warzone, they filter the weapons to Vanguard weapons. So you got to unlock them. So any weapons that you've got to go, you're looking at are like the basic. Well, for me, the basic versions of these weapons with no upgrades. What I didn't realize is you can actually take the filter off and choose your own fully upgraded either Black Ops or um, Modern Warfare weapons. Because I was like, why am I getting absolutely hammered? Because there's some really good Black Ops weapons. I'm like, I'm going to choose that. That's a lot better. And I did. And then like using the legendary weapons that you that you get out of the actual weapon caches to upgrade them when I actually unlock them. But yeah, it's really good. It's 40 versus 40 on that, and snipers rule, unless you know where to hide or you know where you can't get spotted from snipers. But yeah, still really enjoying it. It's just so easy just to jump in and crack on because like with Warzone, I still get quite stressed out. Even with Rebirth Island a little bit. Whereas in the team deathmatch, it doesn't matter how often much you die and respawn, really.
Well, I think you'll find your team
your
worries
team
about how
cares
much
about
you
it,
die.
yeah. But to be honest, like you know pretty soon on how quickly you're gonna do. Like within the first 5 minutes of a game, you're like either 20 points behind or in front, and you're like, okay, I'm with a team that's gonna do well or not do well, and you know you just play for the unlocking new weapons and upgrading your levels and stuff rather
How
than the
long does
actual
a 40 versus 40 game last?
15-20 minutes.
Okay.
Ever so quick.
Yeah.
It's so easy. Yeah, that's the other thing as well, is that it's not a 45-minute game. It's just like a very quick and easy one. So and that's it really.
That's season 2 now, is it? Because I saw my
Yes.
Xbox doing a stupid update for it the other day.
Oh, it's a massive update for it. Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, season 2. Some of the maps there's planes. I said about it last week. There's like fighter planes and bomber planes and stuff. I haven't really messed about with it. Apart from a very small amount. But it's great. Brilliant. Jump in, play some. Let me know when you're on, because I'll jump on with you. And then other than that, I haven't wrote it down, but I started playing Cyberpunk again this evening. There's been a big update.
There has big update.
Oh, so have you got a new version of it on PC as well?
Yeah.
Because I know they've just done it for the consoles.
Yeah.
But they got a PC one as well.
Yeah, 1.5
Okay.
got released. So
Yeah, I think
leave-
didn't I think Arnie, friend of the show, Arnie, got that too, and Miss
um,
said, "Oh, I'm going to go off and play some Cyberpunk," but I don't recall much feedback on that, so I don't know whether that we'll have to get him back on the show at some point. But I don't know if
so
so. Have
yeah,
you
right.
played much?
I played about half hour today. I looked at it. I played 23 hours of it, so I hadn't like put a huge amount of time into it. Although I did enjoy it, I can't remember why I stopped playing it. Probably PUBG, know me, or something else random.
Not PUBG.
Probably not PUBG. um,
Probably something like Circuit Builder Simulator or something.
yeah. But no, I jumped into it. There was loads of mission updates and changes and stuff that I'd obviously because I've been sort of 20 hours in. I'm joining midway through like progression and stuff. Yeah, like I need to actually get back into it because from what I remember, I did enjoy it. There was just lots of bugs that was annoying me, visual bugs and people just warping through walls and the physics being a bit off with the driving and the shooting.
Driving's had a big
skill.
update, I think, hasn't it?
Huh?
Driving is one of the things they've improved on big time.
Yeah,
in the,
yeah. I think
update.
just that the whole like world and your interaction with it
Right.
has had a good refresh. So yeah, I'm gonna jump on that. See how I do. Like I know I jumped on earlier, and I say I only put half hour in, but it was a lot of trying to remember the
You're
controls.
just going to start again.
No, I'm not gonna start again. I'm not one of those
Cyberpunk's a
people.
bit of Cyberpunk's a bit of an odd one, isn't it? Because like, you get the impression that maybe it caught a bit of a break, even though it was really a steaming pile of dog shit release. That it caught a bit of a break, than that we'd already been softened up for this sort of thing with a couple of things beforehand. So they saw. I'm not saying they got away with it. People were disappointed, of course, but at the same time, having seen something like No Man's Sky rise like a phoenix from the ashes, right? People are like, well, that'll probably happen with Cyberpunk. It will be the game we want it to be. It's just a question of when. So I always get the impression people are a little bit more patient with it.
I think they had a lot of user feedback in what some of the problems were. People were not shy on reporting what it wasn't doing very well.
Right.
And yeah, I just think they've spent the time, money, and effort righting a lot of the wrongs. Same as No Man's Sky. That was I played that extreme like on release. I played that for 24 hours on release. And it was very samey. There was a lot of repetition.
Mm.
And going back, I think I went back a couple of months ago to the game, and it's a completely different thing. Cyberpunk's not had the same change of focus, but they've taken a lot of feedback about how people interact with the actual world itself. Um, and I jumped in a car and I was driving around. I was like, actually, this feels really good. There was a lot of change. The cars didn't feel slidey at all. There wasn't a massive lag between turning and the actual car like turn. It felt like I was in control of the car, whereas like I know previously I didn't. It was one of the big things I had about it. It was that I just didn't like driving around, so I just fast traveled everywhere.
Right.
So yeah, I need to spend a lot more time with it just to see exactly what the changes are, but and how I feel about them. But I'm definitely going to give it a good go this week. I might even stream some.
Oh.
Um, yeah, just showing off how shit I am with the actual combat. Um, but yeah, like even that's had a refresh as well. Some of the gun handling and sort of feedback. Um, so yeah, I mean, I'm very very interested to see because I do like these role playing games. I do think Cyberpunk has a sort of a good basis in that. sort of near future, like dystopian future style aesthetic. It's it does interest me, and I was quite annoyed when it didn't quite hit when it first launched. But if it satisfies that now, that'd be great. And
All
that's
right.
it. That's it from me this week.
Okay. Is that me just then to go?
It is.
That's it.
All right. Well, let's start off on Valorant is coming to the end of their season pass, so we've been grinding at the end to just try and get our final push towards the end of the battle pass. I'm actually enjoying Valorant a lot more suddenly. We've had a bit of a break we've been playing a lot of PUBG, but actually I'm enjoying Valorant playing that. So that's I feel like I'm not taking Valorant so seriously. PUBG is getting all my focus and aggression and annoyance. Valorant's become a little bit of a sideshow. Just go do some aim practice playing Valorant, which is always the difference between those two games. Where PUBG is a game where you commit to playing it for 20 minutes to half an hour, and then you're dead on one piece of action. Whereas Valorant is constant gameplay. But at the same time, Valorant can be very exhausting if you're taking it seriously. Whereas PUBG, you can at least have a bit of a relaxing time running around in vehicles and mucking about. So I don't know. It's interesting. But yeah, those two games, I'm continuing with those. I really had no desire to get back to Death's Door, and then I fired it up on Saturday or Sunday. I thought, well, I got to keep plowing on with it. And it's again that game. I don't understand what its little bit of magic, but I just fire it up, start playing it, and I'm completely there. I just love it. I love the little pit pat
You get
of the
really
crow.
immersed with it, and like
It still bothers me that I think the thing is I just get into a good frame of mind when I'm playing it. You know, all my other games are so focused around multiplayer and playing with other people, like Back for Blood, Valorant, PUBG. I like losing myself in Death's Door. I don't think I'm going to enjoy it, but actually, I don't really know what I want, and so having this goal, so I can't give Neil the satisfaction of not finishing it. I've got to get to the end, and I
I'll be
will.
disappointed if you didn't finish it.
Yeah, I know you would, love. Yeah, that's what I want to do. I'm doing this for you, right? But and so pushing myself to finish it. You know what? That's what I miss, right? Did anybody like I think man, this must be going back 4 or 5 years ago now when we did the Pile of Shame challenge on the Overseas Connection. I don't know if anybody took part in that, but I ended up like over the course of the year, I think I got to 25 games finished. Like it was such a great thing to do to have yourself being pushed to immerse yourself more in games to get them done. And I uncovered some absolutely fucking cracking gems of games that I never would have continued if I hadn't had some sort of motivation to get it finished. So I don't know. I think Death's Door is the same. I have a little bit of motivation from Neil's side. You know, like I wish I'd finished Hades, but I think Hades finished me. That was
Hades
a
is
great
hard.
game. Hades was hard, and I just got bored of the grind because that's what it felt like. There was a lot of grinding, right? So I've got a feeling someone's just come to my door. Just give me 2 seconds.
His actual door, his front door.
actual front door. Well, while he's doing that, I'm going to let Lilo out because she's asking to go out.
You're not started on Death's Door then,
I'm
Pilch?
gonna go on. Hey,
You're
I
not started
played
on
it.
Death's Door. No, I'm going back to it though.
I played it. No, I've got lots of good games to play first.
Or like Grid Legends.
Thank you. Sorry about that. Did you speak of anything meaningful while I was gone, or do I have to edit that out?
Well, you can listen to it.
I'm not going to listen to it unless you tell me that it needs to be edited out. I'm going to
I don't think
completely
it really
forget
needs to
about
be
it.
edited.
Sweet. Okay. Sorry, my wife's away, so I'm on my own. You will notice there was no food delivered. I'm starving here, but I've got.
Well, you tucked into some
Praise
curry.
the moon.
I did. That was lunchtime, but I've got the second curry part 2 tonight. I can't wait. bang up.
Glad
What are
I'm
these
not round your house.
really good games then, Fraser, that you completed?
Oh, I can tell you the biggest standout was something Tower of Monsters. I can't remember what that was.
Let me have a look.
Have you got the list?
Yeah.
Bongo had a list
Lovers
going.
in
And
a
somebody had a
Dangerous
list.
Space-Time was on that list.
Lovers in a Dangerous Space
This is
Time.
what
Oh
you
yeah, that's a
finished.
neat little game.
Yeah, I finished it. Right. Halo 5, you
Mhm.
completed. Titanfall 2. Numa, Breath of Life.
Don't
That
even
was a
remember
puzzle
that.
game.
Oh,
Puzzle
okay.
game, you had to do pictures and stuff.
Oh
Far
yeah,
Cry 3, Blood Dragon,
Oh yeah.
Lara
That I
Croft
had to
Go. That
Far Cry 3 Blood Dragon was a good one because
was the
I
80s one, wasn't it? A bit like
yeah,
Arnold Schwarzenegger type.
but that is exactly one of those ones I'm talking about. Is that I would never have gone back to that, and when I did go back to it, I really enjoyed it.
You played Lara Croft Go, The Witcher 3,
You finished The
Dead
Witcher 3?
Rising 3.
No, I never finished The
Cool.
Witcher 3.
Oh no, that one's not completed. Okay. All right, you got some on this. Right. Lovers in a Dangerous Space-Time.
Yeah,
Assassin's Creed Chronicles China.
yeah,
Octodad.
yeah.
Grow Home.
That was good. That ended up delivering way more than I thought it should.
Hotline Miami.
That
That's a good
too.
game. That is a
That
good
was a
game.
fucking
Fallout
great
4
game.
you finished.
Which one? Sorry.
Fallout 4.
4.
Oh yeah.
Battlefield 1.
Not Hardline.
Sunset Overdrive.
Oh, that was a slog. That game overstayed its welcome big
How
time.
Yeah,
old are these games?
I'd never
Like,
finished it.
is this like 2
Is that
years? No, 3 or 4 years
2015
ago.
or something? You did this or something?
Zombie Army Trilogy. We played a lot of that together.
Yeah.
Peggle 2.
Phil's still playing
Battlefield Hardline.
Yeah. Did I finish that? I
Lara
don't think I finished
Croft.
that. Did I?
Yeah, you did. Yeah.
Yeah.
And there it is. Deadly Tower of Monsters
Yeah, that was brilliant.
and The Last Guardian.
Yeah. Deadly Tower of Monsters is brilliant if you've never played it. It's such a great game.
Oh my god! Hang on. How do I add? I'll have to show you this because I can't. I don't know how to add it.
It's
Look at
good
this.
radio. I look so young.
Oh dear.
Yeah.
There you
So
go.
so Death's Door is another great game. So I've got a face off with. I'm not going to spoil it in case anyone's playing it, but I'm facing off on one of the third major boss. So I don't think I've got miles to go to the end, but another good push, and I'll get there. But I made
If
good
anyone is
progress.
interested, just quickly, that Bongo's bits, all that year of living gamerly is all still up on the internet. If you want to look through the list of games and all the people that played them, it's quite interesting.
Yeah, that was quality. That really was. That was a great idea Bongo had. It's brilliant. And so anyway, that leaves me to finish off Back for Blood. So I feel like I was a bit of a driving force for Back for Blood this week. Managed to get John Wilson came in and joined me, and we started off playing just started off. I think it was really more like I just spent maybe sort of half an hour with John and just sort of talked him, tried to bring him up and educate him on some of the mechanics and some of the things behind Back for Blood that he might not have realized. And then so apparently he's gone off and played a bit more. He was telling us. He disappeared. Did either of you, Dave and Neil, you were on?
Yeah,
was he
we were
on
there.
when you came?
I literally
was
joined
he?
and then he was like gone quiet almost straight away. It was like,
Oh yeah,
it's like what? Is John not moving? Yeah, John's not moving.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, we started a campaign, and then I think on the first level, he gone AWOL. Yeah. But the three of us carried on, didn't we?
We did.
And I think
you did. How far did you get?
I don't think did you not stay for very long, Dave, though? There was, I think.
I was a while. It was about an hour and a half, 2 hours.
Oh, okay, sorry, I beg
Not
your
very
pardon.
long
Then
then.
I felt like I was on cruising mode with just one other person for quite a while, or was that before you arrived with Neil? I can't
Probably
remember.
that was just you and John, I reckon.
Maybe, yeah. Oh, yeah, that could be it. But yeah, I think we got quite far, didn't we? I mean, we put in a good,
Still in Act 1? Can't remember.
I think the last level I played was where we had to board up the windows.
In the
Oh,
library.
okay.
So it's like
Yeah,
Again.
yeah, yeah.
2,
Yeah.
1 or
Again,
something.
God, I've done
Yeah.
that level so many times now.
Yeah.
But I'm not getting bored of it though. And the thing is, correct me if I'm wrong here, we just cruised it, right? There was never really that hecticness, that, oh my God, what are we doing? We're being overrun, that we had. If you go back to the original days, like even if we were scaring birds, we shouldn't have been shitting ourselves, right? We're a little bit better tooled up. We're a little bit more prepared of who we're supposed to shoot. Yeah, we set off some snitches. Yeah, Neil probably set off every car alarm. But you know what? It was.
It's not me anymore.
But we're blowing
Wasn't
up.
me either.
No, I know it's probably me. But I felt like we were cruising it, right? And so really what I want to do this Sunday session is, again, get in there, 3 of us, 4 of us, whoever's around can join in and make a squad and start from the beginning again and just keep cruising that starting point, right? Until we get to a point where it's like, right, now we're really going for the proper run, and then we're nice and tooled up for new levels. I don't mind waiting for the new levels. I think we need to grind everyone up to get better cards and whatnot.
That's it. I haven't got any of the team cards like at all, or
Right.
I haven't played any. So like everybody else was playing team cards where everybody in the team was getting extra ammo and extra health and stuff, and I was like, I haven't got any of those team cards at all. It's like the only for myself. So yeah, there's a definite need for upgrading my cards. I did go through a few levels upgrading my cards the other day, but like yeah, I need to get all the way through the proper levels.
Yeah, but I mean, it totally rewards you, right? You play, you get points, you buy cards. The cards suddenly become more interesting, and you build a better deck, right? And then you become a killing machine.
Yeah.
Plus,
your whole team does. Yeah.
or you have lots of buffs that help the team and stuff. But not only that, like we have the copper scavenger cards now, so we're not missing. I play that card, so we don't miss as much copper. Then you can get buffs on how much copper you pick up. Plus, we were being really smart on spending the copper. Like we were dropping money for each other and buying the upgrades and making sure we bought all the item upgrades or weapon slot upgrades, right?
Yeah.
So now you're getting into
and
the
the
realm,
toolkits,
right?
so you can
And now
get
you
to the rooms. Yeah,
exactly, making sure someone's carrying toolkits, and then we're starting to get up to that, having rare or epic grenades, right? Which is just, so it's just the more you play, the more I'm just fucking all over it, right? I would love to jump on and play this all the time, but not on my own. The amount of times I have fired up this game and tried to play it on my own or with randos, I can't handle it. I turn off after 5 minutes. So that's where we're at. Jump on the Discord. Let us know if you want to have a run. Even just a duo run, I find super, super satisfying. But playing on my own, I'm not interested. So
no, I haven't even bothered on my own at all. I don't think. Not even tried.
I don't think you can.
Currently, I've played 62 hours of Back 4 Blood so far.
Really?
Quite a lot.
Holy smokes!
Yeah.
I must
Most
be
of
up.
that's with you.
I must be up there then on a load of hours with it.
I'd also.
There's going to be a very large Peaky Blinders sized hole in my Sunday playing from now on, though, because the new season starts at 9 o'clock on Sunday. So.
Oh, fuck off. TV.
What?
Come
Gotta
on.
watch Peaky Blinders.
Why on earth would you want to watch TV when you could play Back 4 Blood with your mates, man?
Well, there's space, yeah.
Arc it in. So anyway, but I have no doubt.
So good, and it was free. This is the craziness of this game. None of us paid for it.
Yeah, I I know, that's
other
awesome.
than
Yeah.
in-hour subscriptions.
No, I literally didn't pay for it.
Yeah. I find it disappointing when I go on and I see people slagging it off. Like I think it really suffers from that Left 4 Dead comparison. It is not Left 4 Dead at all. Like it's just so much
No,
more
it's
than that.
way more to it.
Yeah.
Left 4 Dead was just come out of the room, run to the next room, try not to get killed by the witch. That was it, basically, wasn't it? There's no strategy. It's not like what we've got in this. This is just ridiculous. Every time you put it on, you think, oh, there's another card. Oh, what does this card do? Oh, that's going to help. That's going to help you. Oh, we'll grab this. We'll take this one off.
Yeah.
Bloody brilliant.
I think it's gathering steam. I'm watching those Swing Point videos. He knows now he needs to put more content out for it. People are chomping at the bit.
I noticed
for
we're
more.
following him on Twitch as well.
Yeah, probably. I might follow. He's not following us back though. I might have to call him next week.
Yeah, I would.
Get him in.
You know who we are following? You know who does follow us on Twitter? It's Arthur Smith. Have you noticed that?
I didn't know that he was following us.
Yeah,
I'm
yeah,
not sure.
that's why
I dare say he's got us muted.
I don't know if he's got us muted, but
Unless
he
it's
definitely...
I don't know, some random in the Twitch chat right now.
Who?
He's got some weird username or something.
Oh, okay, all right,
Like XXX something or other. XXX.
brilliant. Tell him to use a Prime sub.
Oh, I resub today. Everybody, don't forget, it must be due now for resubbing. Come on.
Come
We're
on
not begging,
Sunday
but we
and
need your subs.
come and do your Prime sub on Sunday and get
Yeah.
the barking seals.
Yeah.
Which is actually a sea lion, but there you go.
Is it?
Yeah,
Don't
sea
worry,
lions
little things
bark.
like that.
Seals don't bark. We had this conversation before.
Did we? Oh,
Whatever.
What does a seal do then?
You can't say whatever on a podcast, man. You can't be
I
so
just did.
flippant.
It stops things from
Twice,
leaking.
I think, actually.
Usually. Seals.
Whatever. Okay, well, that's Back for Blood. We'll be playing that again on Sunday. Please come and join us if you see that we are, or ask if we have space, and come and see if we will let you in, or give us a shout, or you know what, just send me a message. I'll play. I don't care.
Anytime.
Anytime. Yeah. So if anybody's okay, I'm starving. I'm gonna stick a fork in the show and call that done.
What you got for your tea?
Harry, part 2. Were you not listening? I did this bit already.
Now, though.
What
We never got to the bottom of the biryani quandary.
I think it's just
yeah.
the biryani rice is just the rice that they use in their biryanis.
You mean it's just fucking basmati rice?
Just that sort of orangey yellow basmati
that's
rice.
pilau rice, I think you're talking about.
Pilau rice, okay, yeah. I don't know. Some things here are called different things. I don't know.
Biryani is like a dish. Bindi
As an English...
Isn't bindi aubergines or something?
What?
Bindi was
With a H.
okra.
Yeah. Oh, was it okra?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, that's cleared that up. What?
I was gonna tell
Is that
this
raw
out of the authentic Indian chicken tikka masala dish. It's the most British.
It was
invented
in Birmingham, wasn't it, or something?
Yeah,
in the 70s. Yeah.
By Bangladeshis.
Indian, yeah. No.
Yeah,
I have to say, I have had Canada's curry, and it's fucking nothing like ours.
No, but I know that, and I've actually we have quite a decent sized Indian representation here where I live, and so there's some. I'm finding them slowly. They pop up all over the place, right? But you have to sniff them out, right? And so I've got one around the corner. It's not far. And my mouth's watering just talking about it. Fuckers, man, it's so good, right? There's a couple of them, but you have to look hard. But yeah, a lot of the curries are a little bit different.
Yeah.
That's why I'm not going to charge in and say to them, shouldn't it be called this? Because in England we call it this. Where you're going to find out it's completely like just England, right? That does that. Yeah. So I don't know.
Whereas
the only Indians in Alberta are Inuits.
So. Oh yeah, well there is that. Yeah.
Well, I've had poutine, or what's been described as poutine.
Poutine.
Yeah, which is basically just chips, cheese, and gravy in the UK.
Correct.
Sounds fucking gross.
It's actually like cheese curd and
curds. Yeah, it's
That
not
sounds
nice.
even more gross.
Yeah, it's not great. It's okay. It's good
Oh.
drunk food, right? Or
Oh.
if you're good
Is
hungry,
it?
if you're
I think
hungry,
I'd
it's
rather have a
good.
doner.
Yeah,
Tim
but I tell you what,
Hortons opened up just down the road from me. Another one.
Tim Hortons.
Another
There you
Tim
go.
Hortons.
Yeah, that's 3 now.
you're pleased
that
about
outrageous?
that,
Should be able
eh?
to move. Yeah,
You
it's
better
even
move
closer
away.
now. They get all I
Either
need
that or
one
get
is
down
not
the
in
gym
my
again.
little town now.
Well, they know the revenues in Essex, isn't it?
Yeah, that's
I
where
lost
all us
£3
greedy
this week.
fuckers are.
Basically because I ain't been drinking.
£3? What, it fell out your back pocket?
No, I ain't been drinking all week. So that's the first beer I've had in about a week. And it didn't go down
Don't
very
worry,
well.
mate. You'll soon put it back on.
All right. Well, now on that slating, then Dave, Dave, would you like to take us out of here?
Yes. Thank you for listening to the Seal Podcast. If you'd like to ask us questions or get involved, please contact us either on Twitter at Seal Podcast. Hang on, no. Please contact us on Twitter at Seal Podcast. Email us at sealpodcast@gmail.com or join us on a Discord server. A link is pinned to Twitter. We have YouTube and Twitch channels, which we upload and stream to regularly. And Neil will do a shout out for the Twitch chat channel.
What?
Willie?
Really?
Yeah, Neil, this is your
Where's
bit.
that? Where are
You do
you?
the.
What's Twitch chat channel?
No.
Oh, who's
What,
been
where
in
I
the
say
stream?
if
You now do a shout out of all the people in the Twitch
Oh
chat.
right, okay, sorry. I'm not with it. I'm not with it. My head's hurting.
That's all right.
Derek's been in the chat, and Lord's been in the chat. There are a few lurkers. I don't recognise any of their names, but thank you for joining us.
Dirty randos. Is that it?
Yep.
Well, that was comprehensive. That was well worth the wait.
Yep, I'm glad. Okay, well that's it. I've got a house full of girls having a sleepover tonight with my daughter, so I will not be on record. I will not be
Oh,
editing.
you had to add
actually,
with your daughter.
okay. Yeah, no, yeah, my wife's
You had
away
to add
and
them with
the
me.
kids sleep over tonight. So yeah, I think I'm gonna just go watch TV. No gaming for me tonight. But actually, now I think about it, as I can edit the podcast up here, so I'll try and get that done. Dave, you can send me that file. Thank you. So thanks, guys. Thank you, everyone, for listening. What we all said before, you can come and find us on Discord. That's the place to chat.
Yep.
Yep.
See
Until
you next time.
Yep. So long, everyone. Thanks very much.
Thanks, guys.
Laters.